At this point, I reach in my beard and I pull out 2 flasks of whiskey. I just sort of start to walk towards her menacingly with them.
Thing hide. Jerry is largely unsuccessful. The type of environment that Jerry is used to surviving is more concrete jungle than physical jungle. You'd have a very good understanding of which back streets and alleys and that type of thing would be the best to hide in, but which type of brush and which grove of trees and that type of thing is a little outside of your wheelhouse. So you kind of just hedge a guess, and you see a what you would interpret as almost like an alley just in the tree break. It seems like there's this very clear line that nothing has particularly sprouted up in, and familiarity could take you there, or your uncertainty could cause you to try something else.
No, I'm gonna steer Asmodeus in that direction as I'm swigging away at my drink, and we're gonna go down that path.
Let's go! Hey!
Mm-hmm.
Let's go! Dude!
The cat is at it again!
Hey! Hey!
I hear him going in the box.
Yep.
Hunter, he fits, he sits.
I'm gonna ship you out in that, you little shit boy.
But he's having such a good time. Leave him alone.
He's cracked out on catnip. Oh my god. Alright. Going to ignore that. So the 3 of you have successfully split the party is the very first fucking thing we've done today. So that is cool. Everybody has gone entirely different directions. Alright. We got 3 different stories going on here. And now that I have a precedent for the 3 stories, Kendra.
Yeah.
You've trusted your instincts and headed off in a certain direction, following the trail of fleeing creatures. As you are keeping a pretty good pace and keeping all of your creatures up with you, the Naruto running versus the actual running, or floating as it were, I have 2 choices for you.
Ooh.
We're gonna play a game.
Oh, Jesus.
It's a bit like a game show here.
Hunter, you know how I feel about games.
It's a bit like a game show here. I'm gonna offer you a couple choices. We're basically gonna do, what the hell is this game called? Let's make a deal.
Oh, Jesus.
So, what you're looking at right now is box number 1. You can take box number 1. So you're not looking at it. I'm saying hypothetically, the Pokemon that you're about to encounter, it's in a box. This is box number 1. You can take box number 1, and I'll give you this encounter, or you can move on. You move on, you can't come back. Box 2 might be better. Don't know. I've got the 3 boxes in front of me. I know which ones are good, which ones are not. You got 3 boxes. You're in front of box 1 right now. You want box 1? Or you want to move on to box 2?
The best box is wheel.
I'll move on to box 2.
Okay. And I'm gonna do you dirty like this. Roll me 2d8s, so we'll see what you just gave up.
You bitch.
It's a table. It's a table of things that could have been in the box. Oh God.
Oh boy.
7-7.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
That's adorable. All right. A God damn it! Is this thing really? I've never had to use one of these before. I love new things because I always have to get new sprites. Thanks to Tazl for allowing me to have 47 sprites in the game. Do you hear this little cat going to keep shit in the background?
Yep.
You see what you perceive to be an abnormal but not suspicious little rock,
Rock.
as it is sort of just clutched up on the ground.
Aww.
And as you look away from it, you're like, it's just a rock. You can go, flip, and you look back and you just see the brush moving where this rock was, and it is now gone. Kendra, let's play a game.
I didn't even see it.
Ah.
Here.
It looked like this. Here you go, Tazl. There you go. Look like this. There you go.
It's so cute.
I'll put it over by you. There you go. Here, you know what? I'll even do this.
That guy.
It's adorable.
Those things are terrifying.
How dare you use Unova Pokemon against me?
You rolled it. So Kendra, let's play a game. As you walk past that little rock, you're like, fuck, that was something interesting, and I let it go. Your eye is caught on another thing. So another something catches your attention. This is box number 2, Kendra. You want box number 2? You want to hold out for what could be the best box? Could not be. Box number 3. You gonna take box 2? You're gonna hold out for box 3.
God damn it! Can I get a hint? Which box is best?
You can find a way for Kendra to discern. I'm going to need a roll to justify the hint.
I do investigation.
I'm going to ask insight.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
One, that's the best one.
You need to roll to understand what?
Does it have to be Kendra?
No.
Ooh!
No, it does not.
Fister?
Who the fuck has the best insight in my team?
I would say Fister, maybe, right?
Probably Fister, because a lot of his moves are based on.
Yep, Fister's got a +4.
Yeah. See, that checks out.
Fuck!
Okay. Fister, you look Fister for
Better than a
reassurance.
9.
You look to Fister for reassurance that this is the correct thing to look into. He's like, hey, is this gonna be something cool? And he just kind of gives you like a shrug. He's like, could be. Has potential. What you've gleaned is it has potential. Does it have more potential than something else? Who knows? It's got some potential.
You saved my life, but I ain't telling you shit.
Well, it's more like he doesn't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
You want box 2? Or are you gonna move on to box 3?
I'm gonna go with box 2.
Okay. Let's find out what you missed in box 3.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Roll me 2d6.
As he rubs your face in it.
This is worse. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Just lost something poopy.
It hurts, right? It hurts the soul. You're like, oh.
Don't fucking say that shit, you piece of crap.
You're like, oh.
It's a fucking Heracross again.
Kind of moving. Kind of you commit to some eye-catching movement around this area, and as Mr. Fister and Experiment 626 are in the direction, kind of tilt their head sideways, and as you notice that they've something has caught their attention, by the time you look, all you see is a couple yellow noodles just disappear.
Oh my god, no!
No fucking
fire!
way!
Burn it with fire!
That's your favorite, though, isn't it? A fucking
My
Pokeball just
arch
flies out of nowhere and
nemesis.
Tassel catches it.
My arch nemesis has appeared.
It's fucking the red news.
You dodged that bullet. All right. You stick with box 2. Kendra, I need a D8 and a D6.
Okay. Two fives.
The duplicates are amazing. Oh, ignore my fucked up table. Ignore my fucked up table.
Well, we can't see your tables, so fucking.
Yes, I know you can't see my thing, but ignore how long it takes me to sort this. There's no fucking shot. God damn it. Are we really both going to see one of these today? Okay.
Oh Jesus.
Okay. I'm okay with this.
Oh Jesus.
What your attention is drawn to is like the sound of something chuffing, just rubbing a keratin-like appendage against tree bark. It is the sound of bone rubbing on wood, something that a naturalist or someone who spent a lot of time in the wood would recognize.
I know what chuffing is.
And chuffing, yeah, chuffing is the sound they make, but then also there's the sound of scraping of two particular very individual substances, and every once in a while, there's just a drag of a hoof. And as Kendra carefully peeks through a series of brush, you will see a very young buck
Ooh.
making a distinct mark on a tree.
Very nice.
It does not seem drawn to you at the moment. It's like rather focused on something that's irritating it. Something's pissing him off.
Okay.
He hasn't quite figured out what yet.
I'm going to try and roll a stealth check to see if I can move around to see what it is what is bothering it.
Okay. So here's the caveat to this. If you, as Kendra, are the only one that moves, it's one stealth check. If your team comes with you, it's a stealth check for everybody.
Yeah, no, I'll just do it by myself.
Okay.
I'll tell them to stay back. Why?
Ooh,
I'm gonna die then.
all right, Kendra, you manage. Worse than that, you manage to catch your foot on like some sort of fucking bramble, and you can feel it like poke a little needle through your boot. Like, ah! You kind of scream out instinctively as you tear it out of your foot. The thing whips around, now very aware of you being there, and it centers those two horns on your face, and Kendra just passes out, and it runs off into the woods.
Bitch!
Kendra, you just, for the briefest moment, you see those little horns just flash in a pink color, and you're like, and I'm tired. Back she goes.
Nice. Now you're sleeping on the job.
Critical failures are so much fun. While Kendra thinks about what she's going to do now that she's passed out in the middle of the woods, Tizzle,
Yeah.
you chased after a pair of horns.
Yes.
For anything that approaches it.
His AC blows PP.
And let's see if you get hit.
He will, because he's only got 11.
He does. He does, in fact, get hit. You, sir, get hit by, let's find out how much damage. It's going to be 1d8 plus 4. Greywind is Jesus.
God.
As razor sharp leaves fly out of this bush, shredding it to pieces, but also shredding Greywind to pieces. You take 12 points of grass damage, and this spunky little goat just pops out of things. Yeah,
Look at it. Look at it in its adorable glory.
What is that? A goat?
It's a skidoo.
That is adorable. I want it.
And then a man in a yellow jacket
Friend.
appears in front of Kendra, and she wakes up. She's like, "What is it?"
She wakes up and slapping the shit out of her. It's,
This is for breaking the fourth wall. This is because I wanted to.
it's like
Oh
a
wait,
raft of-
Jerry doesn't. Jerry hasn't seen the man in the yellow jacket. The man in the yellow raincoat.
Jerry, if you break the fourth wall on my game when it's on your turn, a man in a yellow jacket will appear to slap the shit out of you. It will
I
happen.
love that mechanic. Let's do it.
Or especially if you break the fourth wall in game and you're already hurt, he'll just appear and just laugh at you. Fucking.
Yeah, he won't down you. He'll just fucking rub it in.
I feel like Jerry's the kind of character that should break the fourth wall partially.
He's like Deadpool.
There is a looks at the camera. There are consequences. Where's my yellow man?
Man.
I haven't had to use him for some time, but this is a good segue. Here is yellow man.
Yellow man.
Man in the yellow raincoat appears. Kendra, actually, you know what? This is canon now because this is how you're waking up. You feel a firm handprint just and Firebolt and Marshall, who are already next to you, are just shocked. They're like, I didn't do that.
They're like,
There's
they
just-
saw him for a quick second, and then he disappeared, and Firebolt's just like, what was that? What?
There's just a toothy grin as your eyes open and a bright yellow rain jacket as you awaken in the forest floor.
Nice. Back to Tazzle.
Immediately as you awaken, the memory of him will leave your mind, but you still have the nice slap mark on your face.
Beautiful.
I like this man.
That's off. That's rude.
Tazzle.
Funny.
Alright, so Greywind will follow up with a bite.
Greywind can certainly try. Roll his attack.
Try.
That's a Matt Mercer line. Anyone recognize that?
I do.
Yeah, that's why.
In
That is
perfect
what-
fashion. It is a no.
Yeah, so Greywind,
Chloe.
notice this thing now realizing that you are hostile and actively trying to hurt him is going to take offensive action. You, sir, need to make me saving throw. Oh, no, this is a to hit roll. Oh, I forgot. I always forget that's how this attack works. Let's find out, shall we? D20 plus 3. Greywind, you become seated.
Oh shit.
It's your turn.
I remember these fucking days. Woo! Alright, go
Yeah,
Greywind.
your fern battle was awful.
It was super bad. 12. Just
That's my seat, sir. Oi, cat, my seat.
Fucking Pascal.
Greywind, that is not enough to injure the skidoo.
It never is.
And at the end of your turn, you lose
Oh shit.
4 health.
Wow.
And on its turn, it goes for another razor leaf. Which looks like this. And hits you. This skidoo is just going to wipe Greywind off the map.
Yeah, dude, Greywind needs to evolve. This 11 is not helping him.
Oh, 5. Only 5 grass damage.
I mean, 14 would have hit Mightyana too, but
Yeah, that's true. But for you take 5 grass damage, Greywind.
alright.
I should have changed the ambiance when this battle started.
Chloe, you don't
I'm
do
slacking. I'm slacking as a DM and nobody called me out.
Slacking, I got it. He made it funny.
Thanks.
Yeah, you keep fucking around. That's what you're gonna find next.
Hey, that was a great pun, and you know it, even though you didn't. You're just jealous you didn't think of it.
You know, I am a little jealous that it wasn't intentional.
He's lacking.
That will hit. 13 will do it. 13's a very common AC. Very common number.
Chloe, you need to cut it out, baby.
Why are you so pissed?
All of the pets today want in on the action.
I do. 7 points of mark damage. You're going to be a little disheartened when you see how much damage that does. 7 points of dark damage is worth this much of his health bar. And at the end of your turn, you take 3 points of damage. And the skidoo heals for 1. So we'll subtract an additional 3. Oh my god, this is getting close. If this hits, you're likely to die. Let's find out. And that's a hit. Okay.
Get off me,
You, Greywind, you take exact lethal damage. 5 points of grassy damage.
Welcome to my life.
And the skidoo just triumphantly goes like revels in its triumph. And it has defeated the hound that it perceived as tracking it. We'll come back to you, Tazzle, as you decide what you want to do about the fact that the skidoo just donked on you. And we will move over to Jerry. Jerry, your instincts led you down a path that looked a little like a clearing / alleyway, but in reality, well, this is fun.
Oh God! When he says
Let's
that,
do it.
Why do you think so? Have you overanalyze when I say things?
Bullshit. I just know you well.
I'm not always evil.
I didn't say you were evil, but I know he just ran into something either really good or really dangerous.
Or how about just really cute? Why can't I just think things are fun? You see, Jerry, what catches your eye, it at first appears to just be a little bundle of leaves, but you notice that it moves. You're like, there's no wind here. And it falls off of the tree and floats its little ass down to you to look you in the eye.
Oh, it's a Cottony. Jeez, you really like the Unova Pokemon today.
It's the rolls. I'm happy you roll for Pokemon.
Bitch, you know Black and White is my second favorite gen.
Yes, it's almost like Black and White added like 120 Pokemon, and there's quite a few of them.
It's such a good gen.
Anyway, we have ourselves a little tuft of grass and leaves that appears to float or fly through some aviation method. And it sends itself down to you, Jerry, and it sort of looks at you curiously. What are you? What kind of creature are you?
Before we continue, out of character, are there any perks for characters eating Pokemon?
Oh, Jesus.
Is there any benefit to eating a Pokemon?
Yes.
It depends on the Pokemon.
I will say that Cottony is literally just a ball of cotton that floats.
It is basically a ball of Q-tips shoved together with a couple of leaves.
There is no nutritious value.
So it vastly depends on the creature. Let's say that. I'm not going to say yes. I'm not going to say no. Eating certain creatures is purely detrimental. Eating certain creatures may have some benefits. Depends on the creature.
Okay.
It is not entirely frowned upon in the Pokemon world to eat Pokemon. We'll say that.
This is true.
It's like
Okay.
eating carb, like eating fucking tuna.
It is.
Know what that is.
Basically, imagine that like 65-ish% of the population is like vegan-ish. Like they will eat animals, they won't eat Pokemon. But then there's a large portion of people who are like indigenous or otherwise not from big cities that do eat their Pokemon.
Okay. Well, on that note, Jerry's gonna be riding still on Osmodius. He's gonna look down through his beard and just look at those big yellow eyes, and they're gonna come to an understanding real quick. Jerry takes one more swig from his drink, stands up on the head, just sort of wiggles that drink into the little muddy forehead of this little gullet so it stays there, climbs into the gullet's hand, and the gullet launches Jerry at the little Pokemon.
Okay. So as Asmodeus is using Jerry as a projectile, essentially, I need Asmodeus to make me a ranged. I need Asmodeus to make me a ranged attack. So roll me a dexterity roll with Asmodeus.
Would that be a...
It's dexterity because he's plenty strong enough to throw him. It's a matter of can he hit the target.
Gotcha. Let's see. Wait, how would I be doing a dexterity roll again?
So take Asmodeus, go to his stat sheet, get his dexterity, like his basic dexterity modifier.
Right.
Whatever that plus or minus is, roll me a d20 with that modifier.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. His dex is 0.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. 13. That does tie the AC of this creature. So he will be successful in launching Jerry at this creature. So Jerry, the result of this endeavor is that you will have grappled this little ball of cotton and fallen to the ground with it. So you are holding a noticeably soft and concerned ball of cotton.
Okay.
It probably only weighs. It's about the size of a dinner plate. It's like a foot in diameter. Diameter. But it weighs like maybe a pound. It's light. It's almost light as air.
Yeah, Jerry's just gonna pet this thing. He's gonna climb back onto Asmodeus holding it if it's not fighting. He's just gonna pet it.
It is akin to a unbelievably soft stuffed animal. It is imagine cotton that is just pulled and smoothed thousands of times, just as soft as you can imagine.
Oh wait, another fourth wall break, or out of character break. Sorry. Can you use certain Pokemon as bait?
Oh Jesus!
The answer to that is very situational. If the Pokemon you're using as bait would attract another, then yes.
For instance, there are bird Pokemon. If you have a bug Pokemon, you can use that bug Pokemon as bait.
Yes, that is exactly. You could use a caterpillar. You could use a caterpillar as bait for a bird. Things like it is. You can. Yes.
This specific Pokemon. Can you tell me how flammable it is?
Oh my God!
Jerry, roll me an insight check.
All right. Insight. It's just a D20, right?
It's a D20 plus your insight modifier, which should be on Jerry's character sheet.
Yep, got it.
So 19. Jerry, you discern from touching this thing that what that cotton-like substance is made of is a type of foliage. So it's as flammable as a tuft of cotton would be.
Okay.
So very.
Okay, so does Jerry need a Pokeball to capture this thing, or can he just shove it in his Hello Kitty backpack?
You need a Pokeball to officially capture it, but you can sort of kidnap it in that way.
Jerry's gonna kidnap the little wisp.
It is not strong enough to resist your kidnapping, so you shove a 1-pound ball of cotton into your backpack, which does do a good job of filling up the space pretty well. It's almost like your backpack has turned into a pillow. Actually, you don't have a... Oh, yeah, you do have a Hello Kitty backpack. You just store all of your items in your beard.
Cotton.
So your little backpack has now turned into essentially a pillow case.
Oh,
for the
wait.
Beard be Captain Cotton Beard.
I was gonna say I totally retract the Hello Kitty backpack. That's just for drugs. No, yeah, it's in the beard of holding.
Yep,
I pick that little cotton thing up and I just shove it in my face and it's gone.
So it is worth noting, there are very special rules when placing something living into the beard of holding. You are not violating any of those rules right now because this thing is small enough that you are allowed to do this. But in general, no object greater than 10 pounds can be placed in the beard of holding.
Good to know. All right.
So this creature is so
I
small.
would write that down.
This creature,
too.
yeah, but this thing doesn't breathe, so it's like, you know, it's more liable to miss out on sunlight. There's reasons for that. I'll take this out of character from it. This thing is not just a grass type, but is also part fairy, so it can subsist on more than what a plant can subsist on. It will die if it's left in there long enough, but it'll survive longer than like a house plant would if you just abandon it in a dark room. And we're talking the course of like a couple of days before it's rotting in the beard, but
right.
This is a special circumstance where the thing happens to be small enough. I would not try to stuff certain living things in your beard. There will be disastrous consequences.
That's not going to stop Jerry from trying. All right.
So this thing will disappear into the beard of holding. Rather begrudgingly, it's not very happy about it. But it's also too small and fragile to fight the effort. Jerry, having kidnapped a ball of cotton, we will move back to where are you gonna head back to the meeting point? Or are you gonna keep dicking about here?
I'm gonna keep kicking about.
Oh. So Kendra, you awake to a concerned firebolt and a concerned marshal with a discernible red mark on your face. Neither of them appear to have done such a thing. Nobody seems to remember where it came from. Last thing you remember is looking at a pair of antlers, and down you went.
Interesting.
You're vividly aware that the creature has gotten away. What's your plan?
Knowing that something was bothering the creature, I'll see if I can track it for a little bit.
Okay. Survival check would be great then.
Okie dokie.
Okay. You are able to track a set of footprints, similar to what Tazzle was able to do earlier. These are larger footprints that are farther apart. It's a much larger creature. Kendra, can I have an investigation check from you?
Yeah, sure thing.
Yeah. You find on the ground, in between a set of these boats, now that you're up close to it, rather large for the size of the creature antler.
Oh.
Which
I'm gonna
seems
pick that up.
fallen off. If you would like a reminder of the shape, it's kind of like a fork with like prongs.
There's a big sphere in the middle.
It's got this large black sphere in the middle. The sphere seems to be like gripped by the outer edges of the antler. Like it could be removed, but it's somewhat attached.
I'll pick it up and just stuff it in my backpack.
Okay, it's a fairly large item, so it takes up a lot of space, but you have succeeded in picking up what is at least a several pound piece of keratin.
Very nice.
And your intuition tells you that this is what was bothering the creature. It seems to have been attempting to not so much rut against the tree, but yes, exactly. Shed its horns.
Realizing that the deer creature is okay, I will turn around and see what else I can investigate in the area that was spooked. Also, out of character, Hunter,
Yes, ma'am.
which box was the best box?
Wouldn't you like to know, Fed Boy?
Fuck you. Fuck you, bitch. I will know by the end of this night.
I will allow you to postulate.
You want me to roll inside again, don't you? You little bitch.
No, I'm not. This is not something your character could discern.
I'm assuming it's either the first or the second one.
It was box number 3.
Fuck! Whatever.
The way they worked was they all had the same pool, but the farther you went up the boxes, the smaller, like the more indexed the pool became.
Ah.
So box 1 had the whole pool. Box 2 had like a chunk of it, a chunk of the like shitty ones cut off, and box 3 had quite a few shitty ones cut off.
Interesting.
That will not always be the case, but that's how this set of boxes.
My Shuckle nemesis thus appeared.
Yeah, Shuck was actually a fairly high strength rating Pokemon, so that was a decent. Anyway, so you head back in that direction, and what are you looking for in this? Let me turn everyone around here. What are you looking for as you head back? God damn it! God damn it, Fister! Stay! What are you looking for in that direction?
I'm just looking for fleeing Pokemon, basically.
Oh, 626 looks cursed when he's in that direction.
What? Why is he upside down?
I don't know.
Why'd you flip him like that? What happened? Put him back!
I flipped him horizontally so he'd be looking in the same direction as everybody else, but I think he's got a lazy eye or something.
Thank you.
So I can't talk to people with a lazy eye. After a while, it wanders off. I'm like, get your ass back over here.
What the fuck?
Kendra, you're looking for fleeing Pokemon. At this point, kind of a futile effort. It's been long enough that they've settled back in. You can look at or continuing to perceive. And there's the option of having one of your Pokemon assist you in the endeavor.
I'll just continue to investigate.
Okay. So you're able to continue to follow. And as you follow these, what you perceive to be paws, you are left rather curious as a small brown creature who seems almost out of place. Seems to be enjoying himself a sneak. It has some sort of root in its paws, and it is actively chewing on it.
Oh!
There's a very clear little hole that it has recently dug to acquire said root.
No shit. That is cool.
It's so cute.
So imagine this thing just plopped on its butt, feet straight out front, just chewing on a root.
Oh my goodness.
And Kendra, it's worth noting, this thing is vividly aware that you're there. It is looking directly at you. It looks like it's known you were coming for a while. And as you approach, it just kind of takes one hand off of its root and gives you a little wave.
I'm gonna wave back and smile at it.
It holds out the root and like offers you some.
Oh, I will approach.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't make any motion to run away from you as you approach. It's just like, what's up? It just hands you the root.
I will give it a little ruffle of the head, a nice little pat on the head. I'll be like, thank you. And then I'll sit down, crisscross, and I will accept the root.
As you accept the root and sit down next to him, he gets up for a minute and he burrows into the hole next to him, just sliding through the ground as if it were water almost, just swimming through what should be hard ground. And for a moment, he's gone for a minute, and you think like, he fucked off. And he emerges with another root.
Aww.
Kendra, will you attempt to taste the root that he has given you?
Lick it.
Lick it. Seeing that it is safe to eat by this Pokemon in front of me, yes.
You are going to attempt to eat the root. Okay. So, Kennedy, this is you. I'll just say out of character. This is I'm going to try to describe this in the best way I can, but let me know if you don't understand the taste I'm describing. Kendra will fill her mouth with just a little sliver of it because it's a little bit dirty. You kind of wipe the dirt off of it. So you get a clean piece of it, and you kind of just tear a piece off with your teeth. It's a bit stringy. You can get a piece of it, and when it hits your tongue, your mouth is just assaulted by the bitterest, most acrid earth taste you have ever encountered. It is like the ass end of a lemon cranked up.
Lovely. So, out of character, Hunter, do you know that How to Train Your Dragon scene when Hiccup tries to feed Toothless the fish for the first time, and Toothless pukes it up and makes Hiccup eat it?
Yep, that's essentially what you're attempting to do.
Do you remember the face Hiccup made? Where it's just like, oh, that's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
But he masks it and he just smiles and swallows it down as badly as he can. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to be like, oh, thank you.
Kendra, so you choke down this chunk of root. I mean, it's like you chewed on the rind of a lemon that has been left out in the dirt for a week. It's like, but you managed to get this down. And as it makes its way to your stomach, you're filled with this strange, warm sensation. And the wounds that you took in the last session, you almost feel like they begin to numb a little bit, and you heal for 3 HP.
Oh.
The pain of the surface level pain it's like taking an aspirin. The surface level pain has sort of subsided.
Come out of it. I'm kidding.
I'm going to try something.
Okay.
And I don't know how it's going to go.
Okay.
But Kendra's going to start signing using ACL to see if he understands what's happening or if he understands what she's saying.
He do.
Yes! This is a god!
He's very clever.
So
His
I will
intelligence
sign,
needs to
do
be
you
higher than
understand me?
His intelligence is higher than 8 out of character.
Oh shit.
So I will sign, do you understand me?
You get a little affirmative head shake. Yeah.
This is awesome. I'll be like, there, I will sign, so there are 6 of you in total?
He shakes his head no. He goes, mm-mm. He points to himself, and then he grabs your hand and holds up 5. 5, me. And he grabs your hand and he puts up 2, and he points to himself and then points up. 5, me, 2, bigger.
Oh, I said, so there are 7.
Me, 2, bigger. Yeah.
Okay. Are your parents the bigger ones?
Uh-huh.
I will sign. I'll be like, can I meet them? If they're as cool as you are, they must be very intriguing.
Some fucking magnitude, your ass.
He kind of like he kind of moves his head side to side. He goes, uh-huh.
Like, yes? Or no?
Yeah, he kind of thinks about it for a minute, and he goes, shakes his head, yeah.
I'll smile and I'll be like, I'll be like, do you want to bring them here? You're a lot faster underground than I am. And I'll laugh.
You see, he puts a finger up to his mouth. He goes, He kind of shakes his head, yes, and he starts burrowing underneath of him.
This is so cool.
Kendra, it will be several minutes before he comes back. And in that meantime, Tazzle,
Yeah.
last time we talked to you, this kid was just celebrating wrecking Greywind.
And as he's doing that, Sugarcoat's just gonna come from the side and give him a fucking pound to the side of the face.
Oh my god, this devil penguin, I fucking love it.
This is such a sweet baby, and you turned it into a devil.
He's gonna be like, "Don't touch my puppy!" Boom! Just hooked him up.
Well, roll a pound attack. Let's see it. I'm going to say you managed to catch him off guard, so you can get this attack in.
I haven't used both a lot, so I wanna use them. That's not with advantage, correct?
No.
Okay, just
He's still in total like combat readiness. You just managed to catch him off guard to get a hit in before turn order.
Sugarcoat literally just went, I don't want to be a toy anymore. I'm gonna be like a bullet or something. I don't know.
Nope.
All right, Sugarcoat, your fins are not very good weapons, and you didn't peck him, so you essentially head bashed him to get the pound in. And as you head bash the side of a goat, you see Sugarcoat just look over you and like start bawling, and there's this big red mark on their head, and it doesn't seem to have affected the goat at all.
I'm like,
and he looks over at you and he goes, "Yeah."
I'm like, Sugarcoat, you just gotta learn from it. Oh my god!
Grow a thicker skull.
The goat does not seem
fancy anymore.
The goat does not seem to care at all as it lifts the seeds off of the ground and flings them toward Sugarcoat, who's just like reeling in pain, so they fling over the top of their head, and it's like, it's pissed off that it missed. Sugarcoat, you're up.
Sugarcoat's going to now. Sugarcoat's gonna growl at him, so that's a whiz save.
A wisdom save from my goat. Plus nothing.
He's a 14.
Got a plus nothing. Well, that ain't gonna do. 14 seems really high for Sugarcoat, but I'm a fail either way because 8 is the base roll. So what's your detriment here? It's a growl, so that's -1 to my attack rolls.
Because that'll be 8 plus his strength plus his proficiency. His strength's 3, his proficiency would be 3.
Helpful, because this Skidoo is wiping your team.
Now when I do want him to have some combat.
Alright, it pulls and there's the -1 coming into effect. It pulls the seeds up and tries to get you in the back, and it misses again. Slams its fist on there.
That growl. Growl's work.
Pissed. It's pissed, and it's Sugarcoat's turn.
Chloe, you gonna stop that girl? What? I know, you cheering? Thanks, Carl. Let's get him! Nope. 12 again.
Nothing. Alright. Pissed off that it can't hit you with the seeds, it says, fuck it, and it goes to just hit you with the razor leaf. Let's see. Oh, and total dodge on Sugarcoat's part. What are you, fucking Ash Ketchum? Why is your water type beating my grass type?
I know.
Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird?
Well, my water type got, for Josh's reference, my strongest Pokemon went in and got fucking two-shotted by that evolved form of that little beige thing up there. This little poop shoot.
What? I thought
Slap.
Chloe was your favorite.
She's my
Where's your
favorite,
strong-
but my strongest
Not
at the
your-
time was.
Oh, I
Crawdon.
forgot.
He got fucking two-shotted.
Oh, Atticus! You're talking about Atticus?
No, Crawdon.
No, Crawdon got wrecked by the sand slash that
Oh,
Rudy.
Rudy's?
yeah, Rudy sand slash.
I was hoping to hit him with a bubble beam a couple times and wreck him, but it didn't work at all.
He dodged it and came in for like a slash or something, got the crit, and it was just over.
I think I had the first attack too. I threw bubble beam 3 times, missed every time. Fucking magnitude. Alright. We'll try again.
Soft under its neck area. And this does some considerable damage, causing it to be more than a little upset with you. It's going for the kill with this razor leaf. It wants you done. It's like, no, this ain't a game anymore. I'm not having fun. Oh,
Poor Sugarcoat.
he says, I'm not having fun anymore. His Sugarcoat is, oh my god, I'm rolling ones like a son of a
For
bitch.
least amount of damage.
Sugarcoat, you take 10 points.
Feel my
Oh, grass
pain of
damage.
low roll damage.
You take 10 points of grass damage as you dodge most of the leaves, but the one that does hit you leaves a nasty gnash in one of your fins.
Chloe. Hold on. Alright. We're pounding again. No, we're not.
In a repeat of last turn. He's going for the kill. Oh no.
I think that's the
So Razor
Leaf.
Leaf, that's a crit. So,
Oh, because it's a 19.
So that's gonna be
Oh, I thought that was a 1.
that's gonna be 32 points of grass damage.
She was full health, she would have lived with 2 health.
Sugarcoat is left with nasty red scars all over her, and she just I can't remember if Sugarcoat's a boy or girl.
Girl.
Yeah, so she is left with these nasty red gashes just all over her body, and she just faints on the spot. And you just have this like warrior skidoo in front of you, like skidoo. It's like he's just celebrating. He's like, I have defeated you.
Alright.
If you catch this thing, it's gonna evolve on the spot just from being 2 of your best Pokemon.
Alright, Chloe. Can you just do something, please? And she's gonna... Let's see.
Finally,
She can
he puts in the
pass me, okay.
finally he puts in the correct type matchup.
I know. Didn't want to do this, but I guess I have to.
To be fair, Kennedy did warn you that this thing was going to ruffle all over you.
I did.
Chloe manages to whiff entirely with her rock blast.
Yeah, those plus ones.
And you see those seeds emerge from the ground once more and plant themselves firmly on Chloe. Making your turn, Chloe.
Alright. This might be fall below.
And he's so hard to kill.
Oh my god,
Uh-oh.
I didn't want to do that, but I did and
Uh-oh.
I don't. Oh man.
Uh-oh.
Whoops. That's why I didn't want to pluck originally.
Oh no!
Couldn't you be rock blast, motherfucker?
Oh no! Don't kill my boy!
Chloe, I can use this before.
I love him so much. Don't kill him.
Alright, so let's see.
Doesn't look like you have a choice, bitch.
Oh my god, so that's both dies maxed out, so that's another 16.
You killed that thing. Killed 2 of his Pokemon. Is seated Chloe, and she's just like, nah, I've had enough. And she just fucking decapitates him. Fucking.
So it's 2d8 plus 21. I think, correct? Sounds good.
Oh God. Sounds right.
And they're decent big numbers. You just fucking hit
Oh.
60 damage, dude.
Oh. Chloe gets seated. Sees her team decimated around her. Drives that sharp beak into this thing's jugular, and you see it come out of its mouth.
Oh,
Oh my
And it just
God.
falls to the ground instantly. The viscera that is on Chloe's beak when she pulls away leaves you momentarily terrified of this bird as she recuperates, shakes it off, and becomes her normal, chipper little self.
She just temporarily
He's like,
killed
I'm
her.
just killed for you. Are you happy?
It's like Groot when he fucking kills everybody in the first movie after he stabs like 20 people. He turns around and smiles.
Yep,
She just showed
pretty much.
her future bitch face when she's too canon.
Yep, pretty much. So yeah, you instant killed the Skidoo. He's fucked. He's done for. That thing is done.
I hope to
Yep.
just knock it down. If I knock it down, I was hoping to just try to med.
Oh, that was an instant kill. That fucking thing is done for.
60 damage.
Even if it had survived that attack, there's not enough medical knowledge in this party to have saved him from that.
I
Level
used
of
the
negative.
block for that +3.
And
Oh, it would get a regular.
it just murdered him.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So with the now bleeding corpse of a baby goat in front of you, you look down, almost wishing to admonish, but knowing that they did what they were told to do. It is worth knowing that Greywind leveled up from that battle,
No shit.
despite getting ruffled. He was that close.
Yeah, he's been fighting a lot, but he's been losing a lot.
So
Uh,
let's roll up on Greywind for me. Chloe's gonna get the bulk of the XP because she killed it.
that
And
is a
then,
pretty badass looking Pokemon. I'm kind of bummed.
Oh yeah, the evolved form.
Goats be cool. Yeah, the evolve. I don't even know the evolve form. I understood the little
Go.
one looks badass.
Go-Go
Go.
and
Oh, I have
Go-Go
seen it.
is really big.
Which gen is
Like
that?
it's rideable.
Go is let me see.
Oh,
This
yeah.
would be Gen 6.
Oh man.
Go.
Yeah, it's 5 feet 7 inches tall.
Yep. Over 200
You
pounds.
killed a giant goat to victory, and you killed it.
That was my oh well. Actually, I have.
You know, sometimes the crits come when you don't want them. That's how it be. Let's roll a level up for our
Things
friend
happen
though.
for a reason, I guess.
Sometimes the dice gods are just cunts too. It happens.
Yeah. Damn, his fucking moves too. Aerial. He gets aerial ace. As go.
He does eventually.
Earthquake. Oh my god.
Yeah, that thing's a fucking beast. Let's roll a level up for Puchiana.
So.
Greywind, you've been fucked every turn of the way lately, but at least you leveled up.
Puchiana is now 6, correct?
Ja.
Evolves
Oh.
level 6.
So yes.
Correct.
Okay. So listen. Here's how this is gonna go down. We're gonna roll the pro bono HP right now. So roll me the D6 plus whatever their con is right now.
Dice 6.
Do,
Okay.
do,
Double check.
do, do,
It's
do,
con, so it's not bad.
do.
So, thank you. Appreciate it.
Do.
+1.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
That's okay for him.
So they will gain 4 health right now, just immediately. So now their health is 33. You see Greywind on the ground after that fight, and they start to get up. And you can see as they get up, it's almost like their legs are getting longer instead of them standing up. And their fur, which is normally this dark gray with black accents, just starts to glow a vibrant white. It is your opportunity to do something about this if you want to stop it.
I will not. I know what's happening. I'm excited, and so is Chloe.
There is this bright ball of light, and you can just see a dark figure inside begin to morph. The fur turning darker and tripling in size. It is that much of a difference. And what emerges from the darkness there, or the light, I guess you could say, is this creature, which you hardly recognize anymore as Greywind. From evolving, they're immediately going to get an additional 12 health on what they just had. So they had 33 plus 12. So they immediately have 45 HP.
Nice.
And you get 9 ASI points from this evolution.
And they can go anywhere, or is it that 4 max?
They can go anywhere, but they're capped at 20.
Right. Okay.
And then I have allowed these to be spent on feats at the cost of 2 of them.
Right. Okay.
He also now has access to level 6 moves, which in Greywind's case means roar, swagger, and assurance.
And his evolved form moves too.
His moves are largely the same up until this point, but he has access to anything he would have gained as this. Anything he didn't have before is in his pool, but his level up moves, his level 6 moves, are Mighty Anna level 6 moves, not Pucciana level 6 moves.
Right. Roar swagger. Okay.
Oh yeah, so he has access to anything that Mighty Anna can learn. Well, actually, technically, the way this is supposed to work is for him to go. If you're talking about the elemental fangs, I know what you're talking about. Those will need to be taught because he didn't know how to use them before. He's getting roar and swagger right now as options, and he now has the capability of learning the fangs. You just have to teach him.
Okay.
He's actually physically capable of performing those attacks now. I will leave it to you how you want to try to do that. How you want to try to electrify, freeze, or ignite his teeth and teach him to do it. But yeah, for those of you who don't know, for Kennedy and Josh in the background here, Mighty Anna has access to Fire Fang, Ice Fang, and Thunder Fang.
Correct.
So my stipulation that I just provided was you will need to teach the Dark type how to ignite, freeze, or electrify their teeth before they can perform that move on their own. As it is rather unnatural to go from being able to do such a thing to not being able to, backwards. But anyway, Greywind is significantly bigger. And they managed to restore themselves to full HP post that fight. So to give you some perspective, Greywind was about 1.5 feet tall-ish and about 30 pounds, like a small-ish dog. They're now about 3.5 feet tall, so about triple the height, and a big dog, like a 90-pound dog. They are a big dog now.
Oh my goodness.
They went from like a puppy to maul your face off.
Gotta love a hyena.
Yeah.
So, would with you dealing with that evolution, the ASI points, and what comes with them, Jerry, you have a unhappy ball of cotton which is making little coos in your backpack.
Oh, it's in the beard.
Oh, in your beard. Your beard is cooing. Unhappily.
I'm gonna ignore the cooing. And I'm gonna continue to look around, this time for resources in my environment.
Useful, rather devoid.
Okay. At doing this, I pull out Hank, my Shiden ninja or whatever.
So you are capable of doing that on your own at any time. If you go to the top right, there is a little tab that looks like a newspaper. It's called your journal. Your journal contains all of the creatures that you have. If you click and drag, you can deploy your creatures.
I've deployed Hank. This is good.
His name is Hank. All right, let me update his title for you. His name is Hank.
So I then look over to Hank and I communicate that I would like him to see if he can notify me, or her to see if they can notify me on any possible resources in the area that I am not aware of.
I suppose you can refer to Hank as whatever you want, male or female. It is a genderless husk. So, sort of ambiguous. You would like, so, okay, you're trying to convince them to look for resources. What is it you want them to look for?
I'm looking for sticks.
Sticks. Well, sticks are abundant. Hank will spend about 10 seconds looking around and just sort of like levitate a bundle of medium-sized sticks over to you.
Jerry then grabs said sticks and shoves them in the beard with the little wisp.
Okay. Jerry has acquired a bundle of sticks.
Okay, upon doing this, I recapture Hank. He's now off in my backpack or in his Pokeball. Jump back on his body. I'm just resource collecting.
You were so lazy. You just around Hank. You're just like, it's like over there. Get it?
I don't know how to work the program.
You have a immortal, largely invincible husk capable of performing feats of incredible durability, and you say, "Hey, go get that stick."
Pick it up. Genius.
Mm-hmm.
And to
Like,
his,
have you seen like those videos of like toddlers that are just like reaching for something and they're just like and they're like so close, but they're like, I'm not moving.
Oh yeah.
to his credit, Hank literally has no fucks to give.
This is true.
He goes very well with you, Jared, because he cannot give fucks.
I know it works perfectly. I hop back on this Modius and I just keep wandering into the bushes.
Just arbitrarily into the bushes. As you venture, you will perceive for me.
Perception check. All right.
I feel like such a child because I'm on an applesauce kick lately.
Dude,
Applesauce is so
fucking
good, my guy.
I would eat the shit out of that all day.
It
Apple
bussin'.
juice,
It really do
applesauce.
be.
Apple pie?
I discovered these time in a while. They slap pretty hard still.
What does?
Baby
Juice
bussin'.
boxes. Yep. Bringing
I love,
the box to the gym is it's a strat.
10 out of 10 would recommend apple churros. They are very good.
Oh my god, that sounds phenomenal.
Agreed.
It's so good. Like a cinnamon apple churro is so fucking good.
I am now distracted. All right.
I'm sorry.
Gonna go make a fucking dessert now. I'll be back.
This,
It'll take you a couple hours, but eventually it'll be worth it.
Spend the rest of my night rolling churros. God damn it.
there's a churro
Um,
stand at Disney called Sunshine Churros, and they have like fucking 12 different churro types.
I must
Yeah.
say, I'm not a very big like dessert sugary person. I will fuck up a thing of churros. They're like one of my favorite like treat desserts.
That's
So
that's a Mexican speciality right there.
good. It really do be. Anyway,
We'll post this.
So yeah, I rolled a 13 for that perception check.
Okay. 13 perception check. Oh Jesus Christ, the churros. 13 perception check. As you glance around, you will hear, though not see, the sound of skittering nearby. It is the distinct sound of something with more than 4 legs. Just
Alrighty. I'm gonna pull out Hank again, and I'm gonna ask Hank to investigate. If I can pull them out. Come on, there we go.
struggling. There's
Yep.
Hank. All right, Hank
Hank.
immediately back out of the ball. He's like, how long has it been? Oh, 10 seconds. All right, what's up? He looks
so-
at you. You say, can you follow the noise? Are you asking him to follow the noise?
I'm asking him to follow the noise.
Okay. So he will float his way just sort of nonchalantly off into the bushes as his no fucks to give self did. And there's the Cartman thing again. Fantastic.
I feel like Tazzle didn't see it, so I had to repost in the Sunday game.
It's beautiful.
It is worth watching.
It is the
Man.
best thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
I'm not proud of it, but dopamine flows when you listen to it.
It's so good.
It's so much heart. All right, so Jerry, I need you to roll me 2d6.
All right.
Listen to it later. So it's not.
What does Hank drag out of the woods? A 4-2 is what he does drag out of the woods. Oh my god. Kendi's gonna kill me with all these fucking Pokemon.
Oh,
So much new stuff. So much new stuff today. Actually, I think this is Gen 7, so you won't even give a fuck.
So that's what, Sword and Shield?
No, that's Gen 8. This is Sun and Moon.
Sun and Moon.
Or
Oh,
Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. You will see this like creature just run its way out of the bush, just terrified of what the fuck Hank is. And Hank is basically a mummified bug. The bug-like creature is just terrified, and it darts its way out of the thing, and it starts making like bubble blowing sounds, like.
oh, dope. Okay.
Is not
Alright.
impressed with you, Hank.
Seeing this, Jerry and Asmodeus do their move, and Asmodeus launches Jerry at the bubble.
Oh, Christ. Same thing as always. Asmodeus needs to make me a dexterity check.
Alrighty.
This thing sounds like it's drowning constantly.
It does. That's exactly what it sounds like. So, Jerry, you are planted like a lawn dart in the ground next to this thing. And seeing you do that, the creature takes a moment to look over at you. It goes, and you see this wet, sticky string just tie you up 3 or 4 by a wet, viscous spider web.
After that little debacle, Asmodeus is going to come over and just tear me out of it.
I'll need Asmodeus to make you, what is this called? A strength check.
Alrighty.
Is Asmodeus very strong, but is he strong enough to tear this web?
Shit.
So what has happened now, you are now almost, as this web is as strong as it is sticky, you are now glued to Asmodeus's hands like a forklift. He is holding you his hands outstretched, and you are stuck there.
Oh, fuck.
He is holding you like a garden gnome with arms outstretched, and he's trying to shake you off. And he's like, "Fuck, you're stuck."
Right. On this note, is the bubble still there?
The bubble is actively walking away from you.
Very slowly.
It's just very nonchalantly walking away, giving less than 0 fucks about you anymore.
He's like, "You fucking idiot." He's like, "You fucking thought, bitch." He's fucking...
Jerry looks over at Asmodeus and just bellows out, "Follow him!"
So, while carrying you, Asmodeus's top speed is the same as this thing's walking pace. So you are now held out front of him, being jostled like a cat, like just being held. He's like trot, 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 and this dude fighter's just like okay, and it just goes skid, skid, skid. It just kind of goes away.
I'm gonna keep chasing him.
Asmodeus, you chase after him for like a solid 5 minutes as Hank is just hovering next to you like this is stupid.
Hank is quickly becoming one of my favorite Pokemon.
Despite even with the lack of any fucks to give, Hank is just like every now and then he just looks down at you and then he looks at the spider and he looks down at you and he just kind of like continues floating.
He reminds me of like an emo kid from high school where it's just like, I don't want to have to be.
Like, I'm not doing this. Seeing that you are continuing to follow him, the spider stops in its track and turns around and goes, and just kind of tries to yell at you.
I'm taking this chance for Asmodeus to close the distance.
All right. So you get back within melee range, and as soon as you get within like attack distance of this thing, it goes, and you can see it starts to like vomit up this viscous ball of like little black dots. And you're trying to figure out what the hell is in this little thing's head pouch that's just getting ready to launch at you. And then it just does, and it's going to try to hit you with this ball of shit, essentially. It misses, and as it hits the ground behind you, you hear like the sound of like 1,000 little black gnats just taking off and just scattering to the wind.
Damn. Alrighty. So, I'm technically taking up Asmodeus' hand right now, but can I use Hound for Asmodeus? Like, can I attack him with my body? Like, can Jerry become just like a weapon for Asmodeus to swing around?
I'm going to say yes, but you will take recoil damage.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Jerry is now a weapon.
Okay, so here's how this is gonna play out. Jerry being wielded as a weapon. Asmodeus, roll to hit like you normally would. If you hit, we'll give you bonus damage because you're wielding a weapon, but Jerry will take recoil.
Alrighty.
So let's see it.
Moves. That would be a strength move, right?
Pound, it just depends on the move. Usually strength, yeah.
Yeah, pounds.
All right.
Yeah, strength, I think.
Yes, it is.
Mm.
So 1d12.
Strength or dex?
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah. It's probably strength for him because his strength is really high.
11.
That is actually not enough to hit. So Jerry, you just get. I'm going to say this as like just for flavor text because it makes the whole situation funnier. Jerry, you are upside down. So you're actually being held like this. So your head cone is what is being used as the pick of this weapon. And he goes, roar! And he slams your head cone into the dirt, and you are now once again planted like a lawn dart. And the little creature just looks down at you and goes, and attempts to shoot another one of these balls of black shite at you. This one will land. And Jerry, you just feel an unbelievable number of little black ants crawling all over your skin. You have been infested.
Do I take damage for that, or is it just kind of an annoyance?
You will.
Okay.
Not yet, though.
Perfect. A reroll to have me use to have Asmodeus use me as a weapon again.
You may.
All right. Fuck.
Once again, he picks you up and slams you, but he overcorrects for your weight and slams you on the other side of the spider. You're now planted on the other side of the spider. At the end of your turn, the bugs start gnawing into your skin like something out of a fucking Saw movie, dealing 5 points of damage to Jerry.
Actions have consequences.
He's like, hit him with the cone.
Hit him with the cone. Hit him with my head. All right, this creature is going to attempt to bubble you.
That's not.
One bubble succeeds in dealing damage to you. And at this creature's level, that is worth this much damage. 6 points of water damage, Jerry. So from this turn, you took 11 points of damage. That looks like this on your health bar.
That's no bueno.
Hey, if I retreat, am I still getting eaten?
If you get far enough away from him, he will lose control of the bug swarm and they will fuck off.
All right, cool.
He seems to be actively controlling the little bugs.
Right. So Asmodeus, upon seeing the fact that I'm just getting eaten alive, his club is disintegrating in front of him. He's gonna use Stomping Tantrum.
Stomping Tantrum. Okay, that's one of his. That's one of his good. Let's see it. Go ahead and roll it.
Yep.
You're breaking my toy.
There we go.
Asmodeus, of course, having the body of an immortal golem and the mind of a 3-year-old. So you have to roll the hit first, buddy. That'll be the damage hit. So we need a D20 plus whatever the modifier for Stomping Tantrum is. So you're going to get a D20 plus for Stomping Tantrum is probably your strength, and then it's probably just your strength, I imagine. So D20 plus 3, I think.
Fuck.
Or 3 plus 4? Oh, jeez, plus 2 for his... Wait, Asmodeus only has plus 2 strength? Goddamn. I thought he had plus 3 now.
Oh, shit. Wait. I might be looking at the wrong card.
Well, that's okay, because you still rolled a 1. So regardless of what the modifier is, you will not be hitting this creature. So Asmodeus starts throwing kind of a temper tantrum and like stomping on the ground, trying to like shake this thing off its feet. Jerry, you get eaten again at the end of the turn for 4 more points of damage. And Asmodeus failing the stomping tantrum causes a series of rocks to fling themselves about. Just all over the place, just decimating this area of the land. And Jerry, despite there being no direct consequences with this battle of missing this attack, you, even upside down, you just hear, once again, as with the last battle, everything in the radius just fuck right off. And the Dewpiter, as this thing is called, is now going to bubble you again. Seeing in your helpless state, it's like, I will destroy you. No mercy. It will miss every single attack. As Asmodeus' stomping tantrum has a secondary effect of making you shake all over the hell.
Alrighty. So I'm gonna roll to use the Stomping Temper Tantrum again.
This one will hit. Now we can roll some damage.
Alrighty.
I hope everyone else is enjoying this show as much as I am.
Just putting my stuffs through.
The mental theater of a Dewpider being attacked with a Jerry.
It is pretty fucking phenomenal.
It's beautiful.
So this ground type damage will only be worth 5 to a creature that resists it. But he will take the first damage he's taken this turn. And for the last time, Jerry, you are infested. The last of the bugs die off, leaving a last series of bites in you. You take 6 points of damage. Oops, not that much damage. God damn it. Boom, boom, boom. You are that much damage. Jerry's got a bite out of him. You can see little red marks all over your skin. If you were not pissed drunk constantly, this would really start to hurt.
Love it. Alright.
Given that you are this close, he's going to come up and attempt to nibble on your beard of holding with a bug bite. What is this going to do? We shall find out.
Jerry catching me upside.
Oh, the beard of holding resists the weak little jaws of the biter. Jerry, do you want a suggestion?
I would love a suggestion.
As much as this is enjoyable, would you like to have Asmodeus make another strength check to break the silk?
Oh, yeah, that might be a good idea. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that.
This doesn't even take your turn. It's just an addition. Yeah, that breaks the silk.
Perfect.
So, Jerry, you just go, plop, and you fall on the ground, pick yourself up, and I'm assuming get back on top of or behind Asmodeus to allow him to be the one fighting the fight. No
So
longer
this
being...
is in as my turn?
It is. It is still your turn. What would you like to do, Asmodeus?
I just rolled to throw Jerry again.
Oh my god.
It's pretty accurate.
Get him this time, Asmodeus.
Give me 1d10 plus Jerry, not plus Jerry, plus 1d10 plus Asmodeus damage to Asmodeus. Wham.
Alrighty. Upon seeing Asmodeus take damage, Jerry flies into a rage and rips one of the sticks out of his beard to use as a club.
Okay. So we're now in a 2v1 with Asmodeus and Jerry versus the Dewpider. Okay. Jerry, would you like to make an attack against the creature? As Hank, by the way, this whole time Hank is just sitting there like, yep, I'm here. I'm watching this happen.
He's like, this is fucking stupid.
He's like,
"Why am I
hey,
here?"
Hank is just sitting there like, I could have stopped this at any point.
He's like,
like,
I am a tank Pokemon with very little health. You're not using me at all.
I could have stopped this at any point, but I'm not going to.
In my defense, I also don't have any of Hank's moves built in.
That's true. You don't know what Hank can do. So it's on brand for his personality to just sit there and watch this happen. So Jerry, it is now you and Asmodeus versus the Dewpider. We're going to put Jerry up first. So Jerry, are you going to make an improvised attack with a club?
Yes.
All right. So Jerry, I'm going to need you to roll me a strength. D20 plus your strength.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, you are not able to cause meaningful damage with this stick. And the Dewpider looks at you annoyed. Asmodeus, it's your turn.
Okay. Asmodeus is going to use the ground stomp again, or the tantrum stomp.
Okay. Roll to hit it.
Yep.
That is a hit. Asmodeus and everyone else who's paying attention, because I have a lot to manage right now. Did Asmodeus' last attack miss? Oh, did it hit?
I hit.
Okay. So roll me the normal damage. The reason I asked this question, for those of you wondering, stopping intentional special effect is if your last attack missed, you deal double damage.
Oh. Fuck.
So that's 6 ground damage, which is equal to 3. The Jupiter, seeking to repeat history, and just rub it in your face. Looks at you, Jerry, and it spins up another spool of spiderweb. Attempts to restrain attack. Make a ranged attack roll. So I actually am going to roll to hit this. Let's see if Jerry gets covered in web again. Jerry's wizened up to this thing's moves. Manages to not.
Alrighty. So at this point, Hank has gotten quite fed up with this, and Hank steps in as well.
Okay. What would you like Hank to do?
Hank is going to use his, let's see, Fury Swipes. So I'm going to roll to see if I hit.
Yep. It's going to be Hank's dex or his strength, I think.
Right. I think it's his dex. No, it's his strength. Okay. Oh, no,
I can help you with this if you're uncertain.
I think I got it.
Okay, that will actually hit. Fantastic. So here's how this move works, because you haven't seen this move yet before. I think Hank is level 5, right? So roll me 1d6 plus 2, right? Because it was 2 before. Yeah, so 1d6 plus 2. And because that was greater than 3, roll me another d6 without the plus 2. All right, so you ended your chain. So that's 8 total normal type damage. That can be up to 5 attacks, depending on how successful it is. So Hank does a significant amount of damage. This creature is looking rather hurt at this point. It is once again going to attempt to spew webbing at Jerry. This time succeeding in doing so. And after doing so, it's going to use its movement to attempt to retreat from you. This will cause Hank to get an attack of opportunity because Jerry is restrained. So Hank, you can attempt to attack him with any move you like while he tries to run away and leaves your melee range.
I'm going to continue with the Fury Swipes.
All right, roll to hit one for free. Let's see what happens. That will absolutely hit. Let's see how much damage you do to a fleeing Jupiter. A 1d6 plus 2 to start. Give me another d6. Give me another d6. All right. So we got 8 plus 5 is 13, plus 2 is 15. You exact lethal the creature.
That was a beautiful fuck.
Hank on the way out just demolish. So Hank, as soon as Hank joined that battle, it was over in the next 2 turns.
He just slowly turns to look at you, and he's like, "Fucking idiot." He's
if he had rather proud of his adventure. So yeah. So that was a successful first trial. What is the lesson from that? What are we trying to work on here?
I just basically wanted to get him some XP, so I wanted to, I would say, strengthen his electric type moves.
So he is still a Magnemite.
I know. I just wanted him to get some XP of some sort because I feel like it's going to be nighttime soon. It is getting quite late.
That is true. Okay, so his thing is 1d12 right now. Okay, so
Correct.
you are you trying to intensify his electricity, or are you trying to make him just practice the move for battle experience? Is this battle training, or is this attempting to improve his move?
It was for experience, but that is a good question. Improve his mood.
Okay, his move.
Yeah, all I'm saying.
So let's see here. On a successful first trial, in order to beef his electricity up, you'll need him to repeat the feat that he just did with a significantly beefier ball of mud.
Okay.
So Marshall, roll me to generate a ball of mud, and if it is a beefier ball of mud, we'll see what happens next. That is basically roll me the damage of a mud shot.
Yes, sir.
All right. But he did step up the difficulty a little, but it's pretty similar. 6 roll me the damage of your thundershock. See if you can repeat the feat of shattering this particular ball of mud. Ooh. So 66. It appears that what you did the first time was like beginner's luck. It's like, oh, that is harder than it looks. And you do not succeed the second time around as the ball of mud just absorbs the electric current as it do and just falls onto the ground and splatters without really being affected by your electricity.
Okay.
Marshall's still ever the cheerleader. He's like, do it again. Your third and final attempt to improve this move before the creature returns.
Okay.
Kendra, do you have any training advice for Marshall and 626 on their final attempt?
Training advice for Marshall. I'm gonna say, for Marshall, try and make as big of a ball of mud as you can. Try and condense it more, so that way it's less mud and more like a solid object a little bit. To make it more hittable, if you will.
Okay.
And then for 626, I am going to say concentrate on the target, follow it as it goes, and then send a bunch of strength and energy towards that object using the lightning gift.
Okay. I would like Marshall to roll his mud shot at advantage.
Okay. Do you want me to just roll that twice?
Yeah, roll it twice and we'll take the bigger one.
They're the same thing!
That wasn't supposed to happen. Try again.
Okay.
You weren't supposed to do that. All right, that's a little better. Marshall produces what is about a 50% bigger ball of mud than last time. Not the biggest he's capable of, but a significantly more difficult challenge. 626 focuses with an incredible amount of energy. Kendra, instead of rolling me 1d12, I want you to roll me 3d6.
Sad.
He manages to output another fairly good lightning bolt, or fairly good thunder shock, whatever you say. It strikes the ball of mud true. It does a considerable blowout as you see a chunk of it fly off, but he's not able to shatter it as you expected. Almost a little bit dejected. You see the two little eyes just kind of like float downward a little bit.
I'll walk up to 66 and give him some words of encouragement and be like, hey, this was your first time doing this. You're training, getting your moves up. Don't feel bad in the slightest. It took fire. And I'll whisper, I'll lean in a little bit and I'll be like, don't worry, it took Firebolt a long time to buff up his moves too. And then I'll give him a smile and a wink.
66, though having the lack of ability to make facial expressions, seems to float a little more readily in front of you. And you hear a loud crashing behind you as two very spiky-looking creatures appear sort of cuddling a much smaller one.
I'll turn around and I'll wave.
And he trots up to you and he kind of waves at you and he points at the two things behind him. And he goes, that one, me. And he makes the little home symbol.
I'll be like, I will sign to him parents? Question mark.
And you get like a yeah.
Kendra realizing something. She will look at them, smile, and then just like something like a light bulb pops in her head. And she'll look down at her new friend and she'll like kneel down in front of him or it. And I'll be like, what's your name? Forgot to ask you. Putting you on the spot here, Hunter.
He takes a minute, he puts his finger like up and he's like, He's like having a lot of trouble figuring out how to sign it. He only knows like very basic communication with you. So he's like trying to sign his name. He's like, And Kendra, will you roll me an intelligence check, please?
Okay.
All right. Do you trust this Sandshrew?
Yeah.
He will reach up for your bag and he'll like fish for your wallet. And he grabs a little rock and he puts your wallet next to the rock and he sort of rubs the spot on the rock so it's shiny. He goes, money, shiny rock, money, shiny rock. And then he points at himself and he makes the sign for color.
What?
He seems to be alluding to gold, like a little chunk of gold. Shiny, he goes, shiny rock, my color. Valuable shiny rock, my color. And he grabs the little chunk. He's like, valuable shiny rock, my color. Peace. And Kendra, you might not be putting it together, but Kendra put it together. He was referring to a gold nugget.
His name is Nugget! That's adorable!
Wow.
I'll sign to him. I'm gonna be like, Nugget? Question mark?
He goes, yeah.
No, it's nougat.
I'll sign to him. I'll be like, that is adorable. I love it.
You can see he kind of like tilts his head off. He's like, stop.
I'll give him some scritch behind the ears because I know he likes it.
You can see the two larger creatures kind of just like trot up to you, and both of them kind of wave.
I will wave and then sign hello. See if they respond.
Both of them kind of look at each other and they look down at Nugget, and he like looks over at them and he kind of signs. He's like, they can't talk.
I'll look down at him and I'll be like, that's okay. Can you translate?
He goes, yeah.
I will look at the parents and I'll be like, it is nice to meet you. My name is Kendra. And I will give away.
He starts kind of like chattering a little bit. Like he makes these little clicks as he's talking to his parents. It's like some kind of language between them. He is sort of talking with his hands, but it seems to be more for his sake than theirs, as they're more listening to the sounds he's making. And then as he gets to like near the end of his sentence where you might expect him to say your name, he's like struggling for a little bit to translate it. And he says something and they're like, oh. And they both kind of look at you, and both the parents look at you and just kind of give a wave.
So wait, did they understand what my name is?
I mean, as far as you can tell, they seem to have this moment of realization, but that was about as much as you can tell.
Mm. I will look at them again and be like, I really like Nugget. He is very special.
Nugget's like blushing a little bit. He's like, "Aw," and he starts translating. He starts translating for his parents. He's like, and as they realize, like the compliment, as their compliment, they both like simultaneously like pat him on the back with one of their big claws, and each of them will like tap their forehead with one claw. And Nugget will look up at you and he'll start like signing. He's like, they think smart. Me.
I'll lean in and like giving him like more stretches, and I'll be like, "You are very smart," but I'll say it out loud instead of ACL.
He's very pleased with the attention. And get the little thump going on. Both of the parents kind of have like one little claw over their mouth. They're like laughing a little bit.
I'll back up and then I'll look at the parents again, and I'll be like, I really like Nugget, and with your permission and his, I was wondering if it would be okay he came with me on a journey if he would want.
Nugget looks shocked. He's like, he starts kind of translating to his parents like an excited little kid. And one of them, which you sort of interpret to be the mother, gets like very upset. And the father is kind of like waving her down, like, no, wait a minute. So one of them gets very protective and comes up behind him, like hugging on Nugget. And one of them just like looks him like very close in the eyes, puts his claws on either side of his shoulders and just kind of shakes him a little bit. And then turns him to look at you. While the other one is still like actively like tightly hugging from behind. And you can see Nugget's like, they say my choice. Mom, sad. Dad, proud.
So I will look up at the mother Sandshrew and I will start signing. I know this is hard. I know how you feel. It is up to him. I lost my parents too, and I would not want to take you away from him. So it is his choice.
What you now perceive as the mother Sandshrew will sort of like flip Nugget around and like hold his chin up with one claw. And they sort of like look each other in the eyes, and Nugget gives like a little affirmative nod. And you can see the mother Sandshrew sort of like wipe away like a little stream of water with one of her claws and just sort of like front hug, just this big like bear hug where her claws are almost touching her again. She's wrapped so tight around him. And when she lets go, she sort of like pushes him in your direction.
I'll lean forward towards Nugget and be like, so what do you, and I'll say in English, I'll be like, or out loud instead of ACL, I'll be like, what do you say, little guy? Want to go on an adventure?
Nugget just looks up at you and he's like, he kind of looks down at his hand. He's like, ah, and he gives you like an awkward thumbs up.
Hunter, I'm going to pull out a Pokeball.
Okay.
And I'm going to tap it to Nugget's forehead.
As Nugget
I'll have him high five the Pokeball.
As Nugget is actively deatomizing, he kind of like waves to his parents. And you can see the mother is like no longer trying to hide it. She's like actively bawling.
I replace 626 with Nugget.
Okay. 626 will disappear. Nugget now in a Pokeball. Let me add him to your chart so you can have control of Nugget. Real talk, as I am putting out of character talk, as I am putting him into your book. This is sort of an out of character moment for me. Like, ha! You put me on the spot, bitch, and I succeeded.
It's adorable and I love it. It's so good.
I want the
You know how hard it is to filter my thoughts through the idea of sign language coming from a fucking armadillo.
Sentry is so cool though.
He's so cute. He's honestly probably one of my favorite Pokemon from Gen 1, so I'm very happy.
I always really liked them. I honestly don't remember if I ever got them. I always really wanted them, but I don't think I ever got them.
Well, they were always so fucking difficult to catch.
That's probably why
They
I
were
really
a pain in
only
the
got
ass.
a wild one once.
Their catch chance is so fucked.
I was playing Emerald and I can't catch Abra. He just leaves.
Yeah, every fucking time. Every fucking. You need someone to trap him usually, but and plus, even if you do catch him, you can't evolve him because train evolution. Fuck. Anyway,
Oh,
moving on.
That's true. Fuck Abra.
Kendra, you have a Nugget on your team. I kind of robbed you. I robbed you of the honor of naming this particular Pokemon.
I don't care. I'm happy. I love the name.
Still,
He's in a Pokeball right now. It's up to you to deploy him.
I will release him.
dude.
Okay, you have access to a Nugget. I want to make sure you have access to a Nugget.
Nugget.
This evolving is gonna make Red
No.
so much better. I really hope it works out. He doesn't just go negative. The rolls go negative.
He's like, Nugget pops back out of the ball. He's like, huh? Oh. And he looks over. He waves at his mother. She is very proud. The father will step in front of him and will do something very disturbing to you, Kendra, but to Nugget, like, oh, you did that. He will reach over to one of his claws, one of his big digging claws, and he grabs the top of it and he jerks it sideways and rips it off. And he hands this broken claw to Nugget as like a parting gift. And Nugget just kind of grabs it. His eyes are like starry as hell. This is like a child being handed like the autograph of like their favorite fucking superhero. Like, oh,
That's pretty great.
it's amazing. He like clutches it really.
Deserves it. Sandshrews a badass. Increase initiative roll by 3 plus 3 while the Pokemon is active.
Yeah, so when you roll him into initiative, add an additional 3. So he has a better chance of going first while he's holding it.
That's so cool. Thanks for reminding me. Now I gotta go fucking fly to every town and see what I can grab.
Isn't that so? That was the father's gift, was a quick claw.
That's awesome.
At this point, Nugget is crying. Everybody's crying. It's emotional.
I'm going to lean down and I'm going to whisper this in Nugget's ear.
Mm-hmm. You're typing it to me in secret.
I am. Because it's not personal, but I think it's adorable.
Okay.
Tis an idea.
Did you whisper to Nugget? See. Okay. That's cute.
Since you know, it's his favorite.
So Nugget goes, and you can see he kind of leaves the he kind of looks down at the claw and he looks up at you and he's like, he holds it up for you to hold for a minute. And you can see there's this sign of like he's like looking directly. He's doing that thing where like his arms are together and he's like holding them straight out and his head's like down in between them, like take it.
I'll laugh and I'll be like, okay, and then I'll hold it for him.
Okay, and he's like, don't lose it. And he just goes down on the ground. He's gone for like a minute, and he comes back with this like bundle of very stringy roots. And he goes, he looks at his hand, and he like does a circle around his arm, and he kind of shows how his arm is sort of the same circumference the whole way down. He looks at your hand, he like puts his fingers on your wrist, and then like your hand, he like slides it up to show how a bracelet gets stuck on your hand. And he puts it on his arm, he goes, and it's like it'll just fall off. So he goes to his neck, and he like traces a ring around his neck.
Oh yeah, okay, I'll do that. I'll just nod, knowing what he does, knowing what he's talking about. Do you want me to do? What do you want me to do?
You're trying to craft something? Survival.
Yeah. Survival.
Makeshift crafting. Makeshift crafting is part of survival. Unless you want to take your time to make this, and then we could just have it be over. Okay. So 18 and 11. What is the 18 for?
Well, I needed to make 2 necklaces.
Oh, you made the necklaces for the parents.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So,
do you see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Hunter,
So,
come on.
I thought you were making nugget and necklace for the claw.
No.
Okay.
But I can make well.
We're just going to use the 18 for this then. You succeed in it takes you a while, but you essentially braid these roots together into like a makeshift little. It would be almost like a crown, but it's like a very stiff necklace. And as you're in the middle of like finishing up the last little loop, Nugget goes, He puts up a finger like stop, ready? And he turns around and he like shows his back to you, and he goes, And he makes a hammering motion, like
What?
He looks up at you. He puts one hand flat and he puts the other hand in a fist. And he goes, and he shows his back to you. He's like, you can see he's like bracing himself for something that's about to hurt.
I will take the thing that I am braiding and then place it on his back and just like start pounding it, I guess, while it's on his back. I don't know what he's looking for.
He sees what you're doing. He goes, and he kind of walks over to his parents and he starts signing something. He starts like chittering to them, and they go like, they're like shocked by the idea. Like the mother's like, no, and the dad's like, So he goes, and it's like intense resolve. He like turns his back to his father. He goes, and the father goes, ooh. And you can see he's like, all right, get ready. He goes, slat. And it looks like he like impales Nugget with one of his, like if you didn't know better, you would think he just murdered his son. It goes like deep into his back. And he curls the claw back and pulls a big scale off of Nugget's back. And then hands it to him.
No.
And Nugget is just like, he's like, oh. Like imagine if somebody took like a wax strip, right, and just ran it down your back, like the entire length of your lower back is rip. That's what it just felt like to him. So it's only like the upper layer of his carapace. It's not all the way down, but it's still really painful. It's like losing the entire upper layer of your skin on your entire back. That shit hurt. He's like, oh. And as he's like struggling, he's like being forced to stand up straight from the pain. He like grabs it and he hands it to you, and he does like a little like entwine motion with his fingers.
Okay. I will break the scale into 2 pieces and then have him poke holes in the top of each one, and then I'll make it like that.
He grabs the quick claw from you, and he uses that to jab the holes.
Okay.
So you essentially made like these root necklaces with a piece of scale hanging off of them.
Yep.
And so we hand these off to the 2 sand shrews who are now.
Yeah, I'll tie them around their neck for him since they don't really have fingers.
You tie these around their neck. They're both kind of like lifting it, looking up at it. The mother is still like horrified by this keepsake.
Because I was like, oh, it's made out of energy root, which is his favorite food. So I was going to make them like necklaces as like a memento. And then you fully just went, nah, I'm going to take a piece of my skin, rip it off, and then we'll do it that way.
He goes, Nugget is like, who's still like very in pain. He's like, oh. He looks over at you and he looks at his parents and he starts signing to you and he goes, now, part me here. Always.
I'll smile at him and nod. And I'll sign back to him. I'll be like, we can come back someday if you want to visit.
Nugget goes, And he turns around and he gives one last hug to both of his parents and he goes, waves to them and they kind of nod and they burrow back into the ground. You can tell as they burrow, instead of doing the dive that they normally do, which just sort of plunges their head, you can see both of them have sort of constricted their claws inward a little bit to protect the necklace.
This is so sad.
Yeah, I'm giving you emotional damage for your. This is the real world. Where you're stealing children from their families.
I'm not stealing. I asked.
True, you are. You're not stealing. Most people steal, though.
This is true. I will actually take the remainder, the second half of the root I was eating earlier, and give it to him.
So you can see he's like actively like running his claw up and down the quick claw, just kind of like testing the hardness of it. He's like, wow. And much like a toddler, as soon as you hand him a snack, he's like, yes. He just immediately loses the attention of what he was doing.
I'm going to go into my backpack and I'll take out a piece of rope and I'll cut a little piece off.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will kind of make him like a makeshift like harness with a backpack, and I'll put the quick claw like inside of it.
Okay. So you tie a couple like square knots, so there's a little pouch.
Yeah, that goes around like each arm, like each shoulder, meeting in the back, like on his back, and then I'll put the quick claw in the rope, in between the rope and his back. Like make it like faceted in.
You can see he goes, oh, and what he does is strange. He takes a moment and he sort of like lays on his back so it compresses that claw, which is now on his back, into that soft spot that he made. He's like, oh. He's like wincing in pain, and then he starts eating the root while he's upside down, and you can see the keratin on his back start to grow around the claw.
Oh. Well, then take the rope off. Because I was like, I guess I didn't need that.
So your rope is still what's holding it in place, but you can see as this wound starts to heal, it will encase the claw.
Okay, I'll leave it on then, holding it in place.
He kind of he gives one last sniffle and he looks up at you and he does his little awkward like I only have 3 fingers thumbs up like I
will smile at him, get a light bulb moment, grin, turn around, like hunched down, like I'm hunched down, like I'm
Mhm.
kind of like doing a squat,
Mhm.
but my back is to him, and I'm gonna look over my shoulder, and then my right hand's gonna come up and it's gonna pat on my back and be like, "Come on, jump up."
You can see he
Thinking of Rudy,
takes-
thinking of Rudy and his sand splash.
he takes a moment. He's like, oh, and tries to jump. He's like, he's got no hops. He's like, and he finally
Marshall will come over, and Marshall will kind of just like push his butt. Will be like, ah.
he's like scraping, like, and he finally gets up on your shoulder. He's surprisingly light. He probably only weighs about 20 pounds.
He's so cute.
And now he's just like, he's sort of like has his arms like draped over one of your shoulders. He's just hanging off one side of you. He's like, ha.
Okay, I'll get up slowly just to make sure that he's not gonna fall.
He is firmly planted. He's like, yeah.
And then I'll start walking.
You can tell the one thing that disturbs him is he's like kicking his little feet. And you remember from your experience with Rudy, actually make a history check for this. All right, never mind. He's just, as far as you can tell, he's just kicking his little feet. And you start walking back to where you left the guys?
Yep.
All right. Tazzle.
On my way though, I'm gonna take out my Porygon pager, take a selfie with Nugget, and then send it to Rudy.
Fantastic. We'll cover that later. Tazzle, you, sir, recently watched Chloe eviscerate a goat.
And then
She's pretending like it didn't happen. Three
She's
of
like,
your teammates
"Don't
are dead.
acknowledge it didn't happen."
3 of your teammates are dead. Are you headed back to camp, or what's your plan?
this ain't normal, but I'm proud. I'm not. Tazzle's not. Chloe is. But anyway.
Chloe's
What? Sorry.
proud.
Yeah. She's like, I did it. I cleaned this up.
I cleaned up the mess.
But Chloe, we wanted to catch it.
That's too damn bad.
Resting bitch face.
Oh well, should have thought of that.
Alright. I'm gonna head back to the group too.
All right, so you head back to where you guys all met up. A little dejected by what just happened, but happy knowing your team got some XP and you have a new evolution on the team. It is worth. Greywind is fully restored from his evolution. Like there's as is per usual. I'll tell you this, Josh, is the first time you've heard this from an evolution. That great big ball of light was actually absorbing everything it touched, and much like the Terminator appearing in the past, there is just a missing spherical hole in the ground.
I'll be back.
I don't know if Mr. Josh is still here.
Oh.
We've lost him. Oh, he's still here. Have we lost him? I can't tell.
I think
Nope,
his
nope,
mic's
sorry.
malfunctioning.
I had to mute on my mic. My bad.
Oh, I see. So, did you catch my description of what the evolution process does to the surroundings?
I did. That's pretty cool.
So my explanation for all of the mass required to increase the size of the creature drastically comes from the surrounding area. And the bigger the change in size, the more of the surrounding area gets just nuked.
Can you evolve mid-combat and use it like a weapon?
No, evolutions can only happen in a period of safety.
Damn. Okay.
I thought of that too, but that's never been a thing. I wish. It's like
Well, all right.
Black Panthers.
So, Tazzle, you're headed back with a large dog in tow.
Yeah.
And Jerry, you're still wandering around. After that encounter with the spider where you're sticky and you and Asmodeus are kind of beat up, are you headed back to camp, or are you still out and about in the woods?
No, I'm still wrapped in the web. So Jerry looks over at Asmodeus and just kind of grunts, "Protocol C." Asmodeus sort of goes over, grabs Jerry by the head, and sticks him to his chest, kind of like one of those baby carriers.
No, Jesus.
So
Asmodeus
As an-
then reaches into the beard of holding, pulls out a beer, and just starts to slowly kind of bottle feed Jerry as he wanders back to the group.
The straps on Asmodeus just kind of grow out around you.
all right,
yeah.
well, you are stuck to the front of Asmodeus like a freaking duct tape,
Barrier.
and just kind of walking back. All right, so the three of you, as you converge, the three of you will see each person returning with a look of something that shows they've had an adventure today. Tazzle and Jerry, all three of you arrive at about the same time. Tazzle and Jerry, as you two come in, one from the east, one from the north, and Kendra coming from the west. You will see Kendra come in with this little brown creature on her shoulder that seems delighted to be there. It's kicking its little feet. And Kendra seems delighted to have him. Kendra and Tazzle, you both spot Jerry trouncing around on Asmodeus, but you can tell Asmodeus' hands are not what's holding him there, and Jerry appears to be totally immobile, just like looking his head up and like sipping from a beer can. And Kendra and Jerry, you both notice that Tazzle is returning with an enormous dog that he did not leave with. This is where I will break the turn order and allow whoever wishes to address these things, address them first.
Kendra's first gonna look at Tazzle and roll a history check. She feels like she knows what it is, what she does.
Ooh, Kendra, a shiver will run down your spine. You've known some really bad people who've owned these before.
Okay.
Kendra is the type of person to be clever enough to know it's the owner, not the animal. But you've seen some nasty Pucciana in your day.
So busting through the trees, she'll see Jerry first, and then look at Tazzle, and kind of like start to smile, and then she'll see the mighty Anna behind Tazzle, and she can literally feel like the blood drain from her face. Her eyes will widen, and she'll take a few steps back.
Just immediate flashback to one of the henchmen involved in one of your traumatic events who owned a particular mighty Anna, known for its cruelty. A particular master at Firefang, this one was, which is what got him into the group. That is what Kendra is going to remember at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Kendra,
I know where you're going with this, and I appreciate it very much.
Hey, Kendra,
Firebolt immediately is going to look concerned. Marshall's going to be like, wait, what? Marshall's going to be confused. Mr. Fister's also going to be concerned. Nugget's going to be like, what? What happened?
Is Nugget still on your back, or did you put him down?
No, Nugget is on my back.
Okay, so he's still hanging. He's like, what's going on? Why is everyone still concerned? So Tazzle, you'll have the opportunity to react to the fact that as you approach and you see Kendra and Jerry, you can see Kendra notices you, and both her and Firebolt just immediately get like all on guard. And Jerry, despite your strangeness, you have the social intelligence to pick up on this, which is the funniest thing about your character, I think. As you're just stuck like a baby to the front of Asmodeus, and they carry you for it. You can see Kendra is now not as comfortable as she was when she first arrived in the clearing.
Kendra, what? You know what? I've had this. You guys go.
Well, he's gonna say, hey, Kendra, look. I lost everybody but Chloe. But then when we finished, a minute later, look who popped up and grew a little bit bigger.
Greywind is going to let out a massive, just ow kind of howl.
He does have
And-
roar now.
Yeah, it is just this echoing, like deep, just ow kind of howl. And to Tazzle, you're like, that's badass, yeah. And to Kendra, this is like almost cold sweat inducing. Jerry, you're pretty
Pet him and give
indifferent.
him a hug.
Jerry, to you, it's just a big dog. You're like, cool dog.
Kendra will. Oh, sorry, Jerry. Go for it.
I was just gonna say at this point, Asmodeus rips open the restraints on Jerry, so Jerry just sort of falls to the ground.
Plop.
So
Um,
I love it.
And he just sort of waddles on over to the new hound and scratches it behind the ear. But curiously looks over at Kendra, observing that she's a little bit off-put by things, and just sort of inquires, "What happened to you?"
So although Asmodeus can't directly talk, he gives a very concerned, like, eyebrow lift to Kendra. I like to imagine Asmodeus is like a fucking Big Hero 6-esque, like
Baymax, yes.
he's like a Baymax. He's basically a Baymax personality, but with like
Your heart
1%.
rate.
Hey,
He
baby.
just slowly walks up to Kendra, looks at her up or down, and telepathically you just hear Baymax who's just like, heart rate increased.
Yeah, so that's like what he would be if he had like enough brain cells. I like to think he's like Baymax, but like 1% operating power. Like he's
Very
picking up on.
baby.
He's like picking up on the fact that you're not doing well, but he doesn't have the computing power to figure out why. So he's
No, I got it. I got the perfect scene. He'll walk up, look up Kendra up and down, and be like, about to be like, oh, you look concerning. Spot Nugget, and then be like, hard baby. Hard baby.
You all know the best part about that? When Asmodeus just goes over to do that exact thing. We gotta remember, Asmodeus oh no, he's doing that for sure. Asmodeus is the same size as me. He can't reach the baby.
he is. He's only like 3 feet tall.
Right,
So
he's
he's
not a Baymax-esque figure. So he sees the baby,
Fine.
looks over, and can't make a sound. You just hear like his head go moist and start to drip for some reason. And he just starts to like he's crying at how cute this is.
There's just
funny.
these two trails of what should be tears, but as you like sniff, you can tell it's beer. And it's just like liquefying the mud on his face. And there's this trail of like gross slush down his face. He's like,
Gross.
ground baby.
And this 300-pound, 3-foot-tall little mud golem just starts to jump up and down,
Oh
which is
my
upsetting
god.
all the Pokemon in the area because he's making the ground shake just a little bit. So
He's getting,
everyone
like,
gets a little unnerved.
Asmodeus gets like an inch of vertical, but he's trying very hard. He's like,
So, as this is going on, it is getting worse, especially with the ground shaking and things moving.
Hey, Kendra, you wanna pet him? Look at him.
Tazzle! As you say that, you see Kendra start to go into a panic attack.
Greywind just like proudly trots forward and just presents himself like, "Ow!"
He'll actually ask him, like, hey, do you know if these do anything special?
All right, Kendra. What's
Can
that?
I control Firebolt for a second?
They seem to like to
Alright.
but
He does this whole time. Greywind has just been chewing on the back of your boot. So you're gonna need to get him a chew
You're
toy.
not a puppy anymore.
So, Kendra's gonna be standing there frozen as Tazzle and Greywind are gonna get closer. Nugget is on her back, like leaning over, like waving an arm in front of her face, being like, hello! And then Firebolt looks between Kendra and Greywind, walks over to Greywind, and then like places himself in front of Greywind, puts both hands on his chest, kind of tries to say something, and then slowly he's just like, no, and then he keeps back at Kendra he's like, no. Like he's not trying to hurt him. Like this, we know Firebolt's a bit of an asshole sometimes. But for the greater good, you've never seen Firebolt try and be this gentle.
So Firebolt essentially is going to reach out with one hand, just stop Greywind from progressing. He like uses his other claw to like push on his butt, kind of like you do to a dog, like sit. And Greywind is just like, okay, plants himself, and then Firebolt's just kind of like holding him there, like no closer. Tazwell, this is your chance to react. Also, Jerry, you can react to this as you please. But Firebolt is essentially just forced Greywind into a sitting position and is holding him there, a good 10 feet away from Kendra.
Greywind's gonna look right at him with like that probably semi-scary intensity, but it's just his resting him face sometimes.
He does have Intimidate now, right? Since he evolved, so he's just naturally intimidating.
Double check. I think he might actually.
Firebolt will try to communicate what is to
his proficient skills is just still stealth.
To Greywind.
His proficient skills are just stealth, even as an evolved.
Things have happened in her past and mine, and she's having a little moment right now, and she's very scared, and she doesn't want to offend you, but things have happened in her past, and she's not okay right now.
Hey, she has a lot of moments, so I would expect that.
Did Greywind say this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then he turns and goes, "What's that?" And so it tries to be like, "Look over there." So I'll look over like, and kind of like perk up and be like, "What's that?"
What do I roll as Firebolt to see if he is gullible enough to see this?
Would it be a deceive, right? Or persuade away, I guess.
So it's Greywind, are you trying to like trick Firebolt into looking elsewhere so he can approach Kendra?
No, if he looks away, he's gonna give him a big fucking lick on the face.
Oh, okay.
Right up the side of the face, all the way to the tip of the back of his head.
So Greywind, make a deception check. It's basically just charisma check, probably. And what is Firebolt's natural charisma?
Oh shit, I can upgrade his dark vision.
Natural charisma?
Mm-hmm.
10.
Well, there you go. You gotta beat a 10 in deception.
He is. That's dead.
Flat 10.
Charisma, what am I talking about?
It's basically a 50-50. Here we go.
Yeah. Deception.
Also, Jerry, here's your turn to talk in a new character. You are now Asmodeus, who can talk to other Pokemon exclusively. And the voice / so just to help you get into this character, again, I want you to think, put yourself in the character of like,
No, he doesn't.
Oh!
Put yourself in the character of like Big Hero 6, like what's his name, Baymax. Put yourself in the voice of Baymax, but take away 95% of his brain cells. There's your character.
Here's the problem. I don't think I've ever watched Big Hero 6.
All right, so make yourself okay. So he is a big.
Think like a giant marshmallow that, for some reason, can fight.
It's pretty awesome. They're like super. It's fun.
Alternative thing like
one of the saddest Disney stories ever.
He's like a big medic. He's like a big combat medic that has suffered severe brain damage at this point.
And now has the brain of like a 5-year-old.
So he's got the mental maturity. He's got the physical skill and like understanding comprehension of a very clever like golem, essentially like an ancient golem. But he has like the mental maturity and like understanding level actively of like a 5-year-old. That's Asmodeus.
Alrighty.
And so at this point, he's probably interjecting in this conversation as he trots himself up. Do as you please with that. As Firebolt and Greywind both notice, Firebolt is not gullible enough to fall for the what's that? So that does not happen. But Firebolt does notice a trouncing 300-pound golem kind of walking and interjecting the conversation.
Alrighty.
Firebolt will look at Greywind and he'll be like, "Nice try. Stay focused."
However, Asmodeus will totally fall for it. Doggy, what you see over there? I saw you. Look at what's over there. I'll just throw my arm over Greywind's like neck. He's obviously drunk because I've been getting beer poured on my head for like the last decade, and I'm just sort of like kind of hung off this poor dog. It's like what's over there? Your fur is really fucking soft. You know that. Holy shit, that's awesome. Anyway, hey, you have a flaming sail. That's really dope. He's talking to Firebolt now.
No, the spurs.
And he
I got it.
stumbles over to Firebolt.
It's only
He
an
then
hour
stumbles
old.
over to. He just kind of stumbles over to Firebolt. Can I touch it? What happens if I touch it? Does it go out?
Firebolt's gonna look at Asmodeus,
Says I can lick it,
move his
okay.
tail away from Asmodeus, whack him on the head with it, and be like, "No! Stop it!"
What the fuck was that for? That hurt. That
Don't
really fucking hurt.
Don't touch.
Have you guys had beer? Beer is fucking awesome. Anyway,
Craven's
what?
gonna be like, if I lick this, the end, can I do something special? Do I get some kind of?
Speaking of, I have a comment.
Oh no! I realized what I just did. No!
Asmodeus, can you make me a Constitution check?
No!
Wait, fuck, is the gullet weak to fire? Oh no!
You're covered in alcohol, and I just
Oh
Oh
shit!
shit!
Fuck. All right, hang on. It's
I love the order of operations that people just realize what just happened there. Like he's like, oh, you're not gonna, you bit. Yep.
oh shit.
Hey,
all right.
Tazzle.
Yeah.
Kendra's getting worse.
Oh.
Well,
Continue.
it is worth noting that Firebolt goes, no, bad, smack, and you just see these two trails of flame just erupt, like right where he was just crying for Nugget. You just see these two trails of flames. There's now these two active flames, which is going to concern all of the trainers significantly. It's not doing any damage to Asmodeus. He's just like, whoa, it's really bright in here now.
Oh shit.
Firebolt looks in like deeply concerned, like, oh, you're flammable.
Taz is like, not again. Not another forest fire.
Oh,
Scrappy isn't here. Scrape isn't here.
This Asmodeus still doesn't know what the fuck's going on, so he's just looking around at the sudden change of mood, like, what happened?
Something on my face.
he is largely unaware that he's on fire.
He is now fired.
Just picture this small little rock golem just kind of sobering up just a little bit and just kind of standing with his arms limp by his side, just kind of innocently looking up at everyone. Just with like these flaming, burning eyes, just kind of, hello?
Tazzle. At seeing. Tazzle and Jerry. At seeing fires engulfed in Asmodeus's face as a blast of fire appears. Kendra is going to collapse on the ground.
Oh, Jesus.
Sweet Lord. Oh.
Sweet Jesus. Oh, no.
And Craven's
Nugget.
just gonna do the slow head.
I have a
turn
comment.
towards Firebolt. He's
I have a
gonna be
comment before we address what you're doing, Tazzle, real quick.
Like, yeah.
We have to address this first.
Yep. Call me.
Nugget, make me a dexterity saving throw.
No! I don't know what it is! Because I was going to ask you because his intelligence is higher.
Oh. His dexterity is plus nothing.
Plus nothing. Okay. Nugget. My boy. She is still shaking profusely. Like it looks like she's having a seizure.
Oh, Nugget sees the writing on the wall. He's like, uh-oh. And you can see he just jumps off. Whoop! And he kind of lands over to the side. And Nugget, seeing you about to focus, and you can see Jerry and Tazzle, because Kendra won't see this because she's unconscious, but Kendra and Tazzle, Jerry and Tazzle will see Nugget kind of goes, and he like lifts his arm up like he's conducting an orchestra, and the ground comes up to meet Kendra as she's falling and lowers her down.
She's still shaking profusely.
It's like some earth-bending bullshit.
It is very similar, but a little worse to her night terrors that you have seen in the past. But worse!
I can't quite remember. What did Jerry do to stop the night terrors last time?
He didn't do anything to stop the night terrors. That wasn't the night terrors.
Oh. Okay.
There you go. This is fun.
So at this point, seeing Kendra collapse, Asmodeus is going to waddle on over with Firebolt and just sort of kind of lift her up so that she's kind of at observation level for all to see. So Asmodeus has sort of turned his arms into a makeshift table with its flaming eyes just sort of beating down at Kendra.
Nugget has succeeded in preventing Kendra from smacking her head on the ground or anything, but he's very concerned. He's like, no, she's dead.
He's like, I just started this and I already killed her.
For future reference, is Asmodeus fireproof just indefinitely? Because that could be used to a great benefit.
He's not actually fireproof. He can take damage from sufficiently strong fire attacks.
Yeah, no, he is not immune.
He's not actually even resistant to fire. He's just this level of flame was not an attack. It was an incidental. It was an incidental amount of flame.
So, in like social scenarios in this game, could I douse Asmodeus in alcohol and have Firebolt light him up for intimidation buffs?
You could, but if more than a small patch of him was on fire, it would damage him.
Okay, that's good to know. So Jerry's now going to waddle over to Tazzle and ask, is this a regular occurrence?
She's very fainty.
Well, as I was going to say with Gray, when he was going to, as he turns over to Firebolt before he walks away, he was going to say, see? Always something.
Always something around here.
He does the slow head turn towards him. See?
I like how there's no concern for Tazzle. He's like, fucking, not again.
Yeah, he's gonna do like the shrug, like the high shrug, like, God damn it, not again.
Little does he know.
And as in normal caring fashion, he will run over.
And accomplish what? What are you going to try to do?
So this is similar to the night stuff, the night terrors, but a little bit worse. Let's see.
Idea.
I guess.
Okay.
Is she like having a seizure, or is it more just like a scared nightmare type deal?
She is shaking profusely and mumbling stuff.
It's not a seizure, it's a panic attack.
Yeah.
It's a panic attack. Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, is she still conscious?
Let it just say she is still conscious, but she does not have the wherewithal to understand what's happening.
Oh, Jerry, your background actually helps you here. You observe what is happening to Kendra, and you recognize these symptoms, not because of your medical expertise, but because you've seen other people go through this before. She is having profuse flashbacks.
Oh. So, can I roll a quick little history check real quick?
You may.
All right.
Yeah, Jerry absolutely comes to the realization that Kendra is having extremely bad trauma flashbacks.
Apparently, the gift of Dimitri cannot even fathom.
Yeah, well, Dimitri's probably what's keeping you conscious.
Yep.
Hunter, what drugs am I allowed to just start with in my Hello Kitty backpack?
You would not have had much. You might have a couple choice things, but you don't have like a pharmacy in there. Couple different pills at most.
Let's see, fuck. Do I have chloroform?
Fuck.
Oh.
Well,
I think Hunter was drinking while he said
Tazzle's just gonna go over and hold her hand and be like, Kendra, get up. Hello.
Okay.
Tazzle,
What is going
when you
on now?
do that- Tazzle, when you do that, when you say you're gonna roll her over, say she's on her side.
No, she's not
Are
gonna get
you,
rolled over.
like-
He's gonna kind of take her by the hand and go put the other hand behind her head and kind of lift her up a little bit, so she's not
Oh, so
smacking
you're
her
propping
fucking
her
head
up.
on rocks or something.
She's going to curl up into a fetal position and
Perfect.
still shaking. And you can see, like, she's like her clothes are wet just from sweat. Her face is very pale, and her skin is getting a little abnormally warm.
Hunter,
Marshall?
ask again. Do I have chloroform?
You know what? I'm going to say. You know what? I'm going to say yes. Sure.
Fucking cr-
Tyler's gonna ask Fister to come over, and Marshall call them all over.
Okay. Mr. and Marshall will trot their way over to you, Tazzle. Marshall kind of just trots it. Marshall, as he trots over to the front, he kind of looks over at Kendra and he goes, and Marshall has this moment of realization. He's like, and he just sprays a little bit of water on her forehead.
Yeah, and I'm gonna ask Fister to get pretty close. See if his undeadness or deadness
Hey, Kendra.
cool her off a little bit.
Yep.
This is your moment for Mr. Fister seeing what's happening. How much is Mr. Fister concerned?
Incredibly. After not only they've always had a pretty close bond since first meeting for some reason, but after Mr. Fister realizing how much Kendra gave up just to save his life, they're pretty much inseparable. Kind of like how her and Firebolt are. And he's incredibly concerned, and
Okay.
he doesn't know what's on.
Okay, so Jerry, you pull out a small phial worth of chloroform chemical, enough to soak like one rag in, and you'll be out.
Right. So I open up the file, I reach into my beard, and I pull out the little cotton wisp I had earlier.
Oh, oh god damn it! Here comes this full circle.
This poor little Cottony comes out. He's like, "I'm free!"
So the cottony comes out, disturbed. He's like, yes, the outside world, sunlight, thank you. And you immediately start pouring.
The torture.
I'm fucking dying.
So this cottony now saturated with chloroform. You can see it's just like the eyes of this fairy type just roll back in its head. It's like, oh. And it's just,
You son of a bitch.
Upon doing this, Jerry jumps up onto Asmodeus' chest and then uses it as a backdrop to propel himself like a dart, like swimmers do in a pool, towards Kendra's head with a little wisp.
all right. To be fair, Jerry, your feet will just turn to wisp, and you casually, in your head, you're doing like a Michael Phelps dive, like save the day. But to everyone else, you just like casually float over while holding the ball.
Just my little yellow eyes and smoke beneath me holding a chloroform Pokemon.
And so Tazzle, without knowing what's going on, as you're like trying to like figure this out, you're like, oh shit, what is this? You just see Jerry float over and lower this green, like nasty smelling blob onto Kendra's face,
Oh.
and just hold it there, like smother her for like 60 seconds, and she just stops shaking, just limp.
I don't know how long you'd allow that, but all right.
Well, there's a good question. Would you allow him to continue? It would take a good minute for it to work. So would you allow?
Probably wouldn't allow more than 10 seconds would be max pushing it.
You can
Probably
see.
like,
What
what
are you
the
hitting her with
fuck?
no?
she starts to like fall back, and like she starts to like slow down a little bit, and Jerry's like, yeah, and I was like, no.
Firebolt will also be like, ah!
Graven's just like, what in the fuck is happening
Jerry,
right now?
you'll need to convince them that you're this is good for the best.
I'm just gonna be yelled at. Jerry's just gonna be like, "This is the best. This is the only option. This is what needs to happen." Every once in a while, any Pokemon that gets too close, I just take the wisp off and just sort of push it towards their heads like it's like a potion, or like they're vampires and it's a cross.
That's like fire.
Chloe's like, how did Furface learn to fly? What the fuck?
That's like Jerry is just sitting there. Yeah, like this is a bridge we'll cross later. Tazzle is just seeing Jerry hover there.
Tazzle,
Yeah.
your hands are starting to get like really hot while holding her up.
Kendra's burning up.
Like
It's probably
really, really hot.
Marshall. Water, right here.
Marshall's like, yes.
Marshall will do that, and steam will come off of Kendra as the
Marshall's
water.
like, yes, sir. He's just like dehydrating himself.
And then he's just like, oh, fuck. As you realize, it is no longer working.
Let's see.
Yes!
So Jerry, this whole time, is just holding the chloroform rag. And everyone's like, oh.
So he'll try to attempt to keep holding, but I don't know how hot it's gonna get. So I guess I'm gonna roll
Constitution?
Say to see how much I get burned.
You're like holding on to make sure they constantly know you're there.
Yeah. Well, I think I said +1. Switch over to Tazzle. Oh, that was almost an 18.
Oh, so Tazzle, her hand gets to be probably like 120, 130 degrees. You're like, ah. It breaks the 10-second rule. It's hard to hold on. As Kendra rolls onto her back, Jerry, you're the one in the position to see this. Tazzle is holding onto the hand, like trying to do something here. Jerry, you're in the position to see this. Even as her eyelids are like kind of like blinking open and shut, there is a immense, like more so than your like fucked up like eyes from drinking and drugs. Her eyes are emitting, not colored, but emitting an orange light.
He looks over and asks Tazzle, "Is that normal?"
You know, at this point in time,
Okay.
I think so.
Okay, then. I take a swig from my free hand. My free hand still has the whiskey or the beer. It's an alcoholic beverage.
You're not even.
I will
No,
make
I'm
a
one-handing
history
this.
check to see how if there's anything new that I.
He's not even using both hands. Chloroform, Kendra, it's one hand, and the other hand.
He drinks the other one.
Anyway, I take that swig and I just put the beer back in my beard. I just, with two fingers, just slowly close the eyes so that they're not emitting the light. And once they're closed, I take the beer back out and I keep swigging it.
You demented little fucking drug genie.
That was gonna slowly move the chloroform off.
Alright, so.
Like,
So
it's a
even when
nasty
He just
rag or
whispers,
something.
she's a lost cause. She's a lost cause. We'll just
Yeah, and as he picks up the thing, he's like, "Is this a goddamn Pokemon?" Like, what the hell?
So
Just a
even
soap.
as Kendra's eyes are, the eyelids are closed, the orange glow is pervasive through the eyelids. It's like there's a flashlight on the other side of her eyelids.
I'm gonna try a history check if I've seen this before, and it's a natural 20.
You saw this briefly when Kendra was in extreme distress during a near-death experience in the past.
And you also remember, you never talked about it.
I know, I was just gonna say.
So you are actually familiar with this. You know that she has had these types of episodes before in near-death experiences. The eyes are less solid, like a glow, as they are like bright and then dim and then bright, and then it's like they're trying to ignite, but they're like going out and then igniting and then going out.
At this point, Jerry looks over at Tazzle and asks, "Is she fireproof?"
We'll find out.
To a point, I believe so. But
To a point?
I'm not 100% sure.
Well, I'm seeing those eyes, and I have a theory. Would you mind me testing it?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Just a
At this
little-
point,
we should
Jerry
get her
pulls
permission
out.
first, but what is it?
She's chloroformed right now, so it's a little tricky for that, but that'll wear off in a few hours.
So
Every time I use it, it always seems to wear off pretty quick. I use it for myself sometimes to get rid of my own nightmares and guilt. It's the only thing that knocks me out, but do it works. But anyway, at this point, I reach in my beard and I pull out 2 flasks of whiskey. I just sort of start to walk towards her menacingly with them.
Menacingly, good addition to that. Good. Tazzle's gonna whisper in her ear and be like, "Kendra, everything's okay, but you gotta hurry up and get up. We gotta go.
Interesting choice.
He's gonna try to say something that kind of have like a calm saying, like whispering in her ear, and then like let's get out of here.
Okay. So, Kendra, allow me to take the reins for a moment here, if you don't mind.
Please go for it.
Kind of like, I guess, if
Between-
you're somebody that's
This is
in a coma.
fun.
Between the
guys, this is fun.
between the physical support from Tazzle, as much as he's trying to do physical touch and the words of encouragement, between Jerry chemically subduing what would be extraordinary muscle contractions, he hasn't chloroformed you enough to like knock you out, but it's like reduce the oxygen enough in your head to like, oh crap, you're like still enough so you're not hurting yourself with muscle contractions, and Tazzle is providing some level of comfort as Firebolt like crawls right up on your stomach and you feel that weight. Kendra, there is a vision in your eyes of a very well groomed mid-40s, maybe 50s individual by your judging, in a dapper black suit. And he turns his head slightly to get a look at you. And as you see his face, you're flooded with this huge wave of like recognition, but his face is just blurry enough that you can't make it out. And these 2 enormous, just dwarfing the size of your strongest moment, fiery wings sprout. 7 feet in either direction, just massive, like a plane about to take off. And the light from these wings hits your eyes, and your brain perceives at the same time as the light of the setting sun hitting your eyes. And you're snapped out of this episode, like sober in an instant, like ice water on the forehead, just boom. And suddenly you're back in a world where Jerry is smothering you with an unconscious botany, and Tazzle is trying very hard to console you. And there is a bawling firebolt on your chest.
I'm gonna ask Marshall to hit her with one more water gun.
Just as the cottony lifts off your face for a moment so Jerry can see your state of consciousness, you get ah!
Then he's gonna say, "That was just for the smell."
Kendra will shoot up after getting a waterful face in her face. And remembering what she saw, she'll just have like, without like making any noise, just like a couple fat tears like rolling down her face. Tazzle, you've never seen this emotion from before. At least I don't believe you have.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen that before. I don't think I just seen panic and rage.
Panic and rage. I was going to say, she oscillates rapidly between vapid anger and deep depression.
Well, I guess, is she sitting like cross-legged, sitting up now?
Her legs will be straight out in back of her hands, kind of just like sitting on the floor, like sitting on the dirt.
Okay.
She's just sitting there.
And she's crying.
So I guess. So sad moments.
As we
He's gonna probably do as he probably would have continued supporting and just sit next to her. And
Seeing the tears, Asmodeus is also going to walk over and just sort of try and brush away the tears on the cheeks with his muddy hands.
Okay. So you see the golem attempting to wipe tears away. It almost gets a bit of a laugh out of you as this like freaking awkward attempt to be gentle. It's like, Christ. Our party will set up a camp as we console Kendra to the point of being able to get up and help with this. She's still upset, but she's able to physically move around again. Firebolt has sort of pulled himself together.
And she is exhausted.
We
it's got a
take
point
the
of
time.
exhaustion.
We take the time to set up camp. Kendra's out like a light, just sleep. As soon as she hits the bedroll, done.
Intense times. Crazy day.
Yep. I'm going to turn in here pretty soon, too, I'm thinking.
All right, so Jerry will head off to bed. You hear the sound of Asmodeus just crash to the ground and just go into like sleep
Falls
mode.
backwards. He's like, yes.
As you see Jerry just hit his cot, you also see him reach back into his beard and pull out the little cotton wisp and chloroform himself. And as he's losing consciousness, you watch him slowly slip it back into the beard.
Just fucking smack yourself in the face. I imagine it like Deadpool with the fucking mask of cocaine. He's just like, just slaps himself with it.
So many good.
So good.
So many PETA violations and soaking him with chloroform. It's so wrong.
So, do we have
Okay.
tents set up, or are we just kind of setting up like?
Yeah, you guys just set up your tents really quickly. You just got 1, 2, 3 right next to each other. Boom, boom, boom.
Okay. Goody.
They're like a little like triangle. Right? You didn't take the time to make like a central fire, but there's this little formation of tents. And Dazzle, I'm assuming you turn in after everyone else. Greywind is just like, well, that fucking happened. They curl up in their nice, like a giant dog that still thinks they're small. You just feel the weight of 100 pounds laying across your stomach for the first night. Like,
Oh yeah. But I have to accept it because that's what us dog lovers do.
He's just like, well, don't know what I did, but oh well.
Oh well, flop. You ever seen the video of the golden? I think it's a golden retriever.
Yeah.
And she just every
Nala?
morning she flops back on the bed on her on the guy.
Onto her. Yeah.
That's kind of probably what he'd do. Something like it.
Genius.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I was gonna do something else, but I did wanna. I mean, would I even know some of the things he can do? Because I was trying to ask Kendra if she knew, which she obviously has some experience with it.
you haven't had time, really. You don't really know what abilities Greywind has gained at this point.
Right. Because as I asked, she kind of had a problem.
A problem, yeah.
An episode.
All right.
Anyway.
So we drift off to a night of sleep in the woods after a long, eventful adventure day that's ended in quite a climax.
You're welcome.
Well, yeah, 5 minutes and 10 minutes.
Bonnie. Bonnie.
So, as we drift off to sleep, each of you is going to have yourselves a dream. And a dream about what is based on your character. I'm trying to put you guys in your little tents. There we go.
Nugget would also be there. Mr. Fister is just like in the shadows around her. I'm sure she's okay.
Fantastic.
Firebolt and Nugget are like wrapped around each other. It's fucking.
So, as my ender, goddammit, as my closer for the day, let's see here. As my closer here, I'm going to leave each of you with what your characters are going to have dreams about here. Starting with you, Kendra. As you hit the pile, you go through a series of visions as you relive certain events. You're a small, fiery bird just blooming for the first time, and you feel your wings get clipped off, and you see the face of truth again, and they grow back deformed and black, and you can feel that pain. And then for the second time today, you see a black suited man just sort of like place one finger like under your chin, and suddenly you're just a little girl again, and this large hand comes under your chin and lifts your face up, and you hear a very familiar voice tell you not to pout. And your wings just shed all of this blackness and become their natural orange flame again, as a much larger pair extends in front of you, as almost to bolster the heat and allow yours to mature and not be deformed any longer. And there's just a whisper which will jolt Kendra awake in the middle of the night. There's a whisper. And Kendra, you hear a voice in the dead of the night, and it just says, "Come find." And you, cold sweat, awake. Tazzle, you have a dream of Greywind evolving into what they are now, and evolving farther into a much larger, more monstrous dog. And you can see them in a pack with other large Mightyana, just leading this pack, just advancing at an unbelievable rate. And you have this brief like tear in your heart as you can see Greywind like look back at you and just sort of shake their head and abandon you. And you're snapped into another memory where Chloe, now fully evolved, is in some sort of battle. And her signature beak, as she turns over, she looks fine from the back as she's like sitting there hovering in front of you, like protecting you from something. All you can see is this massive scaled face with teeth just snapping at you. And Chloe looks back at you confident just to reassure you. And that fully evolved Trumbeak, like signature beak, is just broken. As she charges forward into the mouth of whatever this creature is, awake, cold sweat. Jerry, you are visited after your chloroform nap by visions of two specters. One, a very dark crimson red, and one an azure blue. And they sort of float around you in your dreams. And in the And in the real world, there is this red smoke leaking out of one ear and this blue vapor out of the other for you, Jerry, as you're like forcibly being transitioned to and from your gaseous state. And these things sort of float around you, and they're tormenting you by just slashing out at you with these hands. They just rip through your physical body, just turning it to gas and dispersing it. As you can feel yourself becoming smaller and smaller and smaller, until one of them just grabs you in one of their hands and goes, "Die," and just squeezes. And Jerry, you're as sober as you've been in a month, and you're just awake. Like all of the drugs just leave your system, and you can feel the cold sweat only start for you when you notice a fluorescent red and blue vapor make its way out of your tent. And that is where we're going to end for the day, folks.
What? What?
Yeah. Matt Mercer the shit out of us.
Interesting.
What?
I hope everybody enjoyed today's session.
I did.
Yeah, that was
I
good.
really did. But now I'm like, what?
That means it was a very good session.
Yeah.
Time to suffer till next week.
There you go. I got a character plot hook for each of you right there. Oh, I'll keep you interested.